everybody. Welcome back to the stream. We're super excited to be here raising money for Raices, Texas. It is a nonprofit organization that offers pro bono legal assistance to immigrant and refugee communities. I don't know if y'all know what's going on in the world we live in right now, but there's a lot of crap happening to immigrants and refugees coming across our border. And we think that it's really important to help support them in legal representation and the other things that they need. So that's why we're doing this awesome stream to raise money for them. So we have, let's see, we're raising funds directly through Tiltify. So please hit that donate button below. Bits and subs do not count toward the goals. And donations get you special things like rerolls, advantage for the players. I think all of that stuff. See if that, yep, donate works. There we go. Okay, perfect. All of that is in chat, so you can see what that is. We are just finishing up our last giveaway, and I'm going to announce the winners. Congrats to Anto D'Amico. I think I got that right. Has won the 5th edition copy of the Wizard of Oz book, printed in 1920. That was really cool. Humalu has won the $20 Modifius gift certificate for the store, and Chaos Device has won the Necromancy RPG PDF by Jessica Marcoum. And so if you will let people, if you're one of the winners, let people know in chat. And sorry, whisper Welcome Party RPG, and they'll be able to get that information to you. We'll also be doing giveaways at the break and the end of the game. You have to be present in chat when your name is called to win, and there's a 10-minute cutoff time after the winner is drawn, and then another winner will be drawn. So let's get into this super fun game with Phoenix Femme 24 with Angela. Angela is our DM, and I'm going to hand it off to you, Angela.
All right, let's let the incompetence get rolling. No, actually, hello everybody. I love you all, and welcome to our DnD5E one-shot that is going to be run in a homebrew setting of my own creation. We have fantastic players here. We are playing a wonderful game that I've come up in a sort of Magic Academy setting set in the actual world. And we are playing for purposes of getting generating money for a fantastic cause I believe in and such. So that we can quickly get into that actual game and get to know our fantastic players, who I'm sure will not cause any chaos or havoc for me as the DM, right? But no, actually, so I'm Phoenix 24 Femme. I'm going to be your DM for this game of DnD5E, and we're going to go around and let's start with our own lovely Kate. So just name who you're going to be playing and class, and let's just call it that.
Cool. My name is Kate. I am playing Mer Nayren, and she is a half-elf glamour bard.
Fantastic. Now let's just go to Audrey. You introduce yourself next.
I am Audrey, and I will be playing Astreos, who is an Erganasi Eldritch Knight.
Fantastic. Next up, our delightful recent join from Mage Hand Press, Justin.
Hi, I'm Justin, the community manager for Mage Hand Press, and I'll be playing Alexander Mandulis IV. All right. And he's a conjuration wizard.
One wizard. Next up, Signrand. You are muted.
I ruined everything. My name is Stan Rand. I'm playing Irving Zauber, who is a divination wizard.
Fantastic. And last but not least, the most wily and scrappy of hobbits.
Hey, everybody. I'm the wily hobbit. My name's Scott, and I'll be playing Kylie Gamage, a female arcane archer Lightfoot halfling.
Alrighty. And with that out of the way, we are going to get right into this wonderful little one-shot that I've devised for all of you that I'm calling, that I'm working under the title, The Foul Tidings at the First Kiln. So, with that ostentatious title out of the way, let's set the scene for how all of you are joining us in this world. This world of a continent known as Agni, where once lived and dwelled a divine bird a phoenix whose very life essence and body fell to the prime material plane and created the whole of the continent and all of the realms that we know and inhabit. But rather than start with this divine one, we find ourselves peering over to a coastline, to a massive city, 3 rings tiered, separated by giant walls, guarded by what appear to be very strikingly realistic looking statues of dragons, ancients, by the look of them. We slowly but surely move in to this central ring. Various stalls of merchants peering along, dotting the street, a sort of nice Mediterranean kind of style white stone and structure to all of this coastline as sort of the lower ring rising up to the higher ring sort of slopes up with hills. And we arrive at an interesting location. We arrive at what is known as the First Kiln Academy. For all of you who are joining us on this interesting mission, you see as you arrive outside of this place, an octagonal structure with a massive golden orange dome that, for those of you who know what, in real life, know what the golden dome at Jerusalem looks like, it's essentially, think of that as the best way to imagine it. But outside of the massive 12-story tall spiraling towers across each of the 8 points of the octagon structure, these are not the things that stand out to you the most. Rather, what stands out is the massive red, orange, and yellow crystalline phoenix statue that sits perched above the dome itself, a testament to the very source of magic in this realm and in this world. We peer through the rooms, the halls of these towers, and find ourselves in the library. Rows upon rows of bookshelves, various students wearing a typical garb of red, orange, and yellow with a massive phoenix symbol on the back. And we find ourselves in, for lack of a better term, a conference room. There's a few bookshelves nearby. There's a variety of chairs and such that are dotting along the side of this main wooden table. And we find ourselves with a curious party of 5 individuals waiting to be called upon for a task of some urgency. Also, we have been given crit to all players from Michelle Ely. So every one of you has 1 crit available. Thank you, Michelle Ely.
Thank you for the donation, Michelle.
We love you so
Thank you,
much.
Michelle.
Oh, for $126.32. Thank you so much, Michelle. What an awesome donation.
Oh, this is gonna be fun on my end for this, for managing this chaos. I am looking forward to this. But find ourselves with a curious band of 5 who's been called here for a mixture of perhaps a rescue mission and a retrieval mission. More details to be found soon, but let's start by going around and just very quickly describing. Let's start with, again, Mir. What is Mir doing while she's waiting here, just called upon by what sounds like a very somewhat haughty wizarding official and professor? What would Mir be doing while waiting?
She's sitting somewhat sideways with her arm draped over the back of a chair, just kind of like she was out all night partying, and now she's just here because she has to be, but she's just relaxing as much as she possibly can. She doesn't sit normally, ever.
Alrighty. And next, first of our pair of wizards, Alexander. What is Alexander doing in this moment as he's waiting to be called upon?
Well, as I'm waiting around, I'm probably conjuring up a pipe to smoke while I wait for these wizards that are taking entirely too long to tell us what we're doing here.
Delightful. And what is Irving Sauber up to in this moment as he's waiting to be called upon? You are muted once again.
No more mute. Irving is sitting in the chair, reading his tome for the 50th time, as he is wont to do whenever there is nothing to do.
Fantastic. And next, what is Kylie up to in this moment?
Harley's pacing briskly about the library, not quite sure what to make of the place, as she's typically out in the woods, out in nature, with her longbow quiver full, senses at the ready. Clearly impatient, not sure she belongs here.
And last but not least, Astreus, what are you up to as you're waiting to be called upon and receive more information?
Astreus is leaning against a chair, reading as well, but very like natural, comfortable here. Just waiting patiently.
And as a few more minutes pass and you reach perhaps that point in which everyone suddenly starts to think, is this actually going to be a thing? Like, did we just get pranked or something here? You hear a somewhat, how should we say, kind of bored voice come in at this time and begin speaking to all of you. Oh, I suppose that all of you are the ones that we had asked for. Nice to know that you're actually prompt, opposed to many of our students. And you see coming in wearing the customary, from what you've seen of many of the students passing by, in red, orange, and yellow, but with a little bit more gold detailing around these large open robes. A very feminine sort of form, tall, slender, very deep and pale skin, sort of short red-orange hair, very long curled fingers that there's how the sharpness of the nails makes them almost look claw-like, a set of heterochromatic eyes that have an interesting shimmer to them, and in slight contrast to the rest of the professors, and almost imagine a femme-esque dress shirt version of all of the robes, so very distinct from the rest of them. And while this individual seems to wear a set of robes that is similar to all the other students, you notice that on the back of their robes, while there is the same sort of flaming bird symbol, there's also a smaller circular symbol that has a sort of kaleidoscopic effect to it. It's almost like as you pass by from one view, there's like an after image effect that happens repeatedly. Like there's additional sort of fake birds that appear, and it's very hard to tell if those are real or, of course, if it's just magic. Spoiler, it's magic. But you hear this voice come in and say, so I suppose that you are all the ones that we requested for the task?
Yes, apparently we are. Kylie Gamage. She'll reach up. Very slight, 3 foot 2 inches, slender for a halfling. Long dark hair, snug studded leather armor, a big green cowl and hood.
Reaches down, and there's a very sort of composed way in which this individual treats himself. It's like holds their hand. It's almost perfunctory the way that they hold out their hand. Grand. All right, all of you, file in. We'll get to this matter as quickly as we can before any more catastrophe arises. And you see 7 additional individuals who you must imagine must be the other professors. As this individual walks forward to the front of the room, they introduce themselves. My name is Professor Moira Galanadel. I'm here as the Master of Illusions, and we've called you in here to handle a matter of some seriousness that we would like you to deal with so that we don't have to get involved with it and not risk any more of our resources or our own lives in order to be involved. Is that acceptable to all of you?
I mean, what's in it for us?
You are here at the First Kiln Academy. We have ample resources to provide you with monetary compensation or some manner if you are those of the wizarding inclined, and they sort of turn to look at the conjuration wizard and the divination wizard in particular. If you would prefer to have access to our libraries here, including the restricted section, we will grant you extended access to them. We have multiple centuries of information and studies in arcane arts and such that we can offer as compensation for you helping us in this relatively annoying matter.
Deal.
Yeah, I can accept that.
Fair enough. Is this acceptable to you, my dear?
Yes, it'll be fine. Thank you.
That's very well then.
Grand.
One thing to clear up. With these extended hours, are we talking one additional hour, or are we talking
24 hours, however much access you require, anything that you need. If need be, I will personally oversee it, because someone, and she looks towards the entrance to this room, and you see a ninth individual has come in, a rather, up until he was addressed, almost kind of suave, charming blue dragonborn with the same sort of robes and what appears to be a holy symbol around his neck of an eye with a gleaming flame atop of it, who, like, he came in with an air of like, well, hello there, everyone. The party has arrived. But the moment that Moira addresses him, he goes from about 7.5 feet tall to about 6 feet tall in terms of how much his head sinks in. He's like, because of someone's incompetence, we will be having to review policies in regards to how matters of the restrictions section are handled.
Sounds like there's a story there.
An unfortunately terrible one. So, as it stands, we would like the 5 of you to deal with a matter of importance. We've had a magical item taken from us that is of extreme significance to the furthering of magical studies and research. It is known as an Ignis shard. It is a crystalline fragment of the divine bird Ignis itself. These particular pieces of the body are where the very source of magic arises from, and where the whole of pretty much everything that you, my dear wizarding friends, are able to cast and know. All of magic stems from Ignis, and as such, having access to a particular item grants us many insights when we are able to practice with it, experiment on it, and gain insight from it. However, we've had a recently, how shall we say, sacked student come by, and due to someone's incompetence, and again, they keep looking at the Dragonborn with the look of like, you fucked up very badly. This individual has happened to make their way into our graduate research area. Now, this is a particular spot that all of the professors here, and they sort of turn to the 7 other individuals, have worked on in pairs to design rooms that, as a whole, test those wizards who are leaving the academy's understanding of the themes, knowledge, and overall practices of the arcane arts. Because of the interference of this individual, the magic item has been made off with, and he has sequestered himself somewhere in there in attempts, we imagine, to make use of the item before the rest of us can. As such, we would like you to go and retrieve it. Acceptable?
What might we need to know about this student who's procured your item?
Oh, he's of little importance. Terrible student of little, honestly, potential, experience, skill, whichever term you'd like to make use of. Phrasing.
I would say he has a fair amount of skill if he was able to make off with this item.
Perhaps in the enchantment schools, primarily because someone was not careful. And again,
what happened? Like, come on. I feel like you're casting a lot of shade, and I just want to know what happened.
So the Dragonborn pipes up. Well, you have to understand is that I am the head librarian here, and I was attempting to set up some of the wards again to protect the area to prevent student interactions. Someone charmed my mind and caused me to take care of all of the wards for the door. It was unfortunate.
But that can happen to anybody.
Not a master, you hear Moira pipe up. And upon hearing this, another individual also begins to pipe up. A rather tall, balding, with sort of silver long white-haired, green-skinned individual with sort of a wispy beard, also wearing robes, but with a symbol that looks like, on the back of their robes, that looks like a divination or beneath it. He's like, All right, Mora, you've given Vladimir Boltclaw quite enough grief over this. It was not his fault he was enchanted. And to answer your question, I believe it was Irving who had asked about it, or was it Kylie who had asked about the student? I'm trying to remember, or was it
Kylie.
Kylie? To answer your question, we've had a student, her name is Beatrice Arzabe. She is a recent transfer to the academy and has been taken for some unknown purpose. Her absence is part of why we are asking for outside help to help us with this. We are worried, or at least some of us, he sort of shoots a very dirty look. This green-skinned individual sort of shoots a dirty look at Moira. Some of us are worried about the safety of the students, and as such, many of us are attempting to put forth arcane runes and other wards and enchantments to protect the students. And small note, we've had another $20 donation from Brightthena. Thank you so much. So, as it stands, the professors, all 8 of us, are attempting to make certain that no other abductions occur throughout this whole process and leave you space to deal with the research area. We realize that it is potentially very dangerous for all of you, given the nature of the enchantments and such, and that we ourselves can't actually provide you with that much assistance, in part because the rooms are designed from how we originally constructed them to, at times, change form, shape, and order. The idea is to always ensure that students who are involved in it have a sense of knowing how to adapt well. It's a quality that a skilled and master wizard should have a grounding in.
So let me ask you this. Does the student who took the item, do they need to be returned safely, or is that of no concern?
You see he has a very troubled sort of look to his face. And you see another professor pipe up, a rather short little rock gnome who has the look of a man with facial hair where you lose track of where the mustache and the beard actually start and end. Like, it's just so big and poofy that it just becomes a whole face unto itself. It takes up the whole of the face. It's like, well, if you are able to protect the professor, to the student, and sorry, words are hard in this hour, I haven't had my coffee, but if you're able to protect this individual from dying or what have you, do go through with it. But please make certain to return the item. The item is of the highest importance, more than anything else. The student is, I suppose, incidental or important. I don't know. This is not my affairs.
Wow, y'all are just some magnanimous people.
What is the item? Can it be used against us? What do we need to be concerned about with the item?
So you see another professor pipe up. This one, deep black skin with warm amber tones, a gentle glow, and a sort of aura of warmth around them, both figuratively as they seem to have a very pleasant and grounded face, and also literally because their hair has streaks of yellow and orange that seem to be on fire. This professor's symbol on the back looks to be a small tombstone with a diagram depicting a body rising from the grave. And as a note, the rock gnome's symbol seemed to be one of sort of like a Vitruvian Man style diorama with look like various arcane text that look like transmutation sort of magic. This fiery individual, both literally and figuratively, sort of speaks. You will not need to worry about the item being used against you. What many of us are concerned about is what it will be used to power or use, what sort of insights and harm will be caused by people trying to get a hold of this. We do not know what this aggrieved student's intentions are, but we hope that you are able to recover the individual who was taken and return the item safely. As far as we know, there should be no harm from directly interacting or making use of the item. But again, it is a rather large chunk of an Ignis shard, and it is something to be careful of.
Does this student have any allies that might be with them?
You see another professor pipe up. This one, very clearly orcish in appearance, very prominent tusk, greenish gray skin, swept back brown hair, and a extremely charming smile and a very well kept appearance. There's sort of like very tiny, almost needless half moon spectacles and very short boxed beard. And their symbol is of a small shield that it seems to have bright blue energy whenever anyone of the other professors gets near it. Well, you have to understand that she's not, she's of a background that many of the, at times, students here hold to older prejudices about, quite needlessly, and frankly, being one of their professors and of such a background, you would think they would learn to let go of such things. But she is new. She has not had very many friends as of late. And I personally have been attempting to be a mentor to her and would hope that you're able to return her safely. That is my hope in this. There is great potential in her, and we would hope many of you, including our staff, and he sort of looks very angrily over at both Moira and the little rock gnome who gave his name as Alston Turin. He looks over and he says, I would hope that the safety of the individual who's been taken will be part of your prime priorities. But if there is nothing else that any of you need of us, we can lead you over to the warded entrance to the research area and give you the best advice that each of us have in order to make it through as safely as possible through these areas.
Very well then. If there's nothing else any of you would like to know, suppose it's off we go.
There's a lot that I would like to know before going into an unknown location to face an unknown enemy with unknown weapons. But I suppose if that can't be done, we shall try our best.
It can be done. It just depends what you need to know. Just feel free to ask whatever is necessary. Any of us who have information will provide it to you as quickly as possible to make sure your path is as easy as we can make it. Part of the difficulty with this room is that, again, it changes at random, and even we can't map it out very clearly. The individual, as far as we know in terms of his skills, has some grounding in enchantment-based magic and has some level of skill as a wizard, despite being, as far as any of us recall, not very competent in his studies. And again, the room has been warded from our interference, including Professor Onisa's, and he looks over at the green-skinned individual who, for those of you who've traveled or studied a little bit more, would know as of Githzerai descent. And the Orcish professor speaking. He has been warded from our divination magics, so we've been unable to get any additional info as a result. So we are limited in what information we have, but we will tell you what we can as we lead you over.
Can you tell us the student's name?
This the abducted student or the aggrieved student?
The aggrieved.
We believe his name was Jeremy. Jeremy R.
You don't even know his name?
Again, he didn't like to give his he gave his name and then he seemed to have wiped it from the records. Again.
So I don't think he's quite as
Incompetent?
as you believe.
Oh, I don't personally believe it. That is the opinion of some of our staff. And again, he keeps looking over at Moira. Moira the entire time has just been sort of haughty and just not looking at really any of you. It's just sort of like, can we get this going sort of attitude.
I don't think they're going to be much more help.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do what we can to help you if you need any more information. And while they're saying this, they're leading you over through past various aisles, past the little small opening gate that leads to what is obviously a restricted section that looks as though there's even physical wards that have been put and are noticeable along the edges to this gate. And you reach a large archway that has 8 symbols all around it that represent each of the main schools of magic that each of the professors in turn will give you will be able to give you a sense of. The divination one, noted by the Githzerai, is of a divination orb. The transmutation is the Vitruvian man. The Fire Ganassi individual will say that their tombstone one is necromancy, a symbol of what looks like a mind with a halo around it and incantations is enchantment. The kaleidoscope effect, illusion. The symbol of a shield, abjuration. A symbol of various elemental magics, evocation. And a symbol of a humanoid with what appears to be a bird being summoned out of their hand, conjuration. We will release the final wards that we have here that we can dispel, and then we leave it up to you. And we will give you the last bit of advice we can to make it through the rooms as best you can.
Will we encounter any creatures here?
It is the nature of the rooms as we've designed them. This is the Githzerai Professor Onisa speaking. It is the nature of the rooms that they will have a consistent guardian, or guardians rather, among them, and each of them will be designed again, styled after what each pair of professors who worked on them has done.
Very well.
But those combinations shift over time, and it is the nature of the rooms to adapt as much as to the students as the students have to adapt to them.
What were the pairings?
Out of character, your DM is about to give you those not directly the pairings, but will give you what each professor who has worked on them has done. So for one of the rooms, you see Moira step forward, and then another individual, deep black skin, light yellow and orange tattoos around her face, with various sort of locks held up in sort of a halo crown, and then spreading out downwards. The braids that end off the top of it look like they're styled off various elemental magics. She will introduce herself as Professor Shuri Ororo, the Master of Evocation, and her, alongside Moira, will give you the following bit of advice. I will read it out, and I will also put it in chat for the players to see. Danger can be ever present, but its forms do not all come in bombastic displays. Sometimes the simplest trick will carry you a long way in accomplishing your goals. The next one, that is the Githzerai professor, introduces himself as Amakunisa, will say the following alongside the rock gnome, a transmutation specialist. Time and change are integral teachers to those who learn from them. Learn from time and see how change can be manipulated with care and diligence. The third step, that will be a Duragar dwarf professor will step forward alongside what is a Goliath, a rather tall, muscly, and almost sheepish-looking Goliath individual. One, the master of enchantments, the other one, the master of conjuration, and they will give you the following hint. Be mindful of your senses, for what they show you is not always enough to tell the whole story. Trust your instincts and above all your magic to guide the way. And the last one, that the Fire Ganassi and the Orc Abjuration Specialist will step forward and give you this last hint. Death is not to be feared, nor should life be taken for granted. Protect its fragile existence until the time is right, and when death arrives, face it with conviction and courage. You have been given your hints. You have been given your task. We wish you the best of luck, and may Ignis be with you.
Okay, I'm gonna drop my accent because this cough is killing me. But so, anyways, back to in character. What's keeping us from just teleporting to where Jeremy is?
Sort of Moira Moira just stands there somewhat sarcastically clapping. It's like, oh, grand, he's thought of the most obvious solution that, of course, we haven't thought of.
To be fair, we don't know what you've thought of. You haven't told us what you've done.
You haven't asked.
It seems okay.
You get the impression very clearly they don't think very highly of you at all. Like, does not, even the two wizards just seems to be eyeing with a certain level of condescension, like to the point of not being helpful whatsoever.
It doesn't seem like they really want this found, or they don't want our help, and
Only she does. The other professors seem to very clearly, like, they're worried about the students, but she is just like, she just wants the magic item back. That's the impression that all of you get, because she is super transparent about what she wants.
okay,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna address everyone but her. Say, is there anything that is being left out that we don't know? There has to be something.
Again, from and various ones will tell you that these hints that we've given you is the basic theme for each of the rooms, because the rooms from when they were originally created adapt. There might be creatures, there might be a trap or a puzzle. The way the rooms are designed are meant to adapt so that different students who are taking sort of dissertation or research grant sort of level studies to leave the academy are best able to practice adapting. This is sort of almost like a panel, like you're presenting your dissertation to a panel mixed in a combat room is effectively what this research area is.
I only wish to not repeat things that have already been tried.
Honestly, you may have to, because it is by chance that they will do what you will see will be what happens on one occasion versus the next one.
Can I charm Moira using charm person? Please?
You can.
Well, can I try anyway?
You can try. I will not oppose that.
So it's a wisdom save of 15.
Okay. 23.
Dang it. I tried. She's just being so snooty.
Yeah, no, she knows you tried to charm her, and you see her draw. Oh, and this is very alarming to all of you, the way that they do this. You see the sort of feminine, pointed sort of chin form drop, as in like the face goes away, to reveal a sort of mask white face that, for out of character, it's a changeling.
Oh.
Dear, don't test me.
Well, don't be rude.
It is a magical item forming a portion of the deity of the world itself. I'd rather the dangers of it be taken care of as quickly as possible.
Surely you could find it yourself. You are so wise and powerful.
Can we just go? Because I don't want to talk to these rude people anymore.
They've already made it clear that the reason they're not doing it is because their lives are more valuable than ours.
So.
Or the
Actually,
artifact.
not true.
Perhaps the world.
Literally, 6 of the professors have indicated they're protecting the students from being abducted.
Yeah, no, just Moira.
Why is this person in charge? I don't understand.
Have you ever worked in academia? These are very much people.
This is very real.
I know. Oh, yeah.
I work in academia. This is very real.
That's
welcome to college.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. But the room is for the archway is open. If there's anything else you want to ask them again, last chance.
So I want to address like us, the party, not the teachers at all. What are our priorities? Ignore them. We need to be on the same page. Are we going in to primarily retrieve the item or the student, or both students? What are our priorities?
My priority is having unlimited access to the library. Whatever gets us that, I will go with whatever the party decides.
I'm here for the experience and the reward, of course. I don't wish to harm anyone if it can be helped, except perhaps the rapscallion who made off with the item. But that's my motivation, really. I'm just here for the reward and the adventure. I don't do much indoors. I was curious more than anything.
Thank you, Nancy Druid, for the $17.76 That donation, 1776.
Nice.
Appreciate.
What you
Who
did there.
who do you want to give your reroll to? Put it in chat. I'm here because I need money. And let's not hurt people unless we have to.
So it sounds like victory is our goal. Victory here being the retrieval of the item, as that is what we have been promised a reward for. Secondarily, we will attempt to rescue the student who has been captured. And if, as always, if we can accomplish this all without fighting, then all the better.
I mean, I would prefer to rescue the girl. I come from a noble family, and money is of no object for me.
Also, if we can make this woman's life miserable in the process, I would be happy.
I'd sign up for that, indeed, yes. Not a fan at all.
Just glowering look over from the
No.
direction of Moira.
Yeah, seeing the glowering look at me. Yeah, Moria is just the worst. A little bit louder than we've been speaking.
I stopped paying attention to her the moment I addressed the rest of them.
Feel an arcane slap across the back of your head. It's like old school headmaster style of just like rolling up the, like Snape Harry Potter live action films, like rolling up the sleeves, just like mage hand slap across both of you. Not actually, that's just me being sad.
Let's just go. Let's just go.
All right. I would like Mirror, roll me a d4.
Okay. That's
Okay.
a 3.
Okay, that's the room we'll be dealing with in that case.
Thank you, Nancy Druid Nancy Druid for the
Yes.
reroll.
Thank you, Nancy Druid. So, all of you, if you can see the map that we're currently on, as you walk through the archway, you find yourselves overtaken by a bright flash of light as you see far too late a set of arcane runes trigger underneath you as you pass a little bit down into the doorway. And as your senses sort of come back to you and vision comes back into focus, you find yourself in a room about 40 feet across. If you look at the map, that's roughly what the size is for it, filled with water. At the other end of the room, you see what looks like another archway outline that is not open currently, and you see 2 plate armored statues that appear to be almost composed entirely in their like solidity of water and ice, each of them wielding a triton, one pointed this way and the other one pointed the other way, as though they're at attention to each other. And you see in front of you a table from where you're at, right before the water's edge, with 3 hourglasses on it. So, you are able to note without any sort of additional tinkering around or investigating that there appear to be some sort of arcane runes or script written around underneath all 3 of these hourglasses. What do you do?
I will definitely draw my bow. Knock an arrow.
Where exactly are the hourglasses? You said they were.
So for if you're looking on the map, there's sort of a red outline for the southern portion of the map, and then the northern portion has basically that marks where effectively land is.
Okay.
On your southern portion, the little bit that's yellow has a little table that has the 3 hourglasses.
Okay, that's what I wanted. All right.
Also, thank you so much, 5155 donation from Onisama-chan. Thank you. We love you very dearly.
Thanks for the donation.
So,
hourglasses. There was a clue. Time and change are integral teachers to those who learn from them. Learn from time to see how the changes can be manipulated with care and diligence. I think if we manipulate these hourglasses, we can affect this room.
Sounds good. You want to flip one over and we'll see what happens?
I the hourglasses are next to us, correct?
Yes, you're on the southern part of this map,
Mm-hmm.
and you're able to see the 3 hourglasses. They're all within reach of you. They're all basically, if you want to, you can move your tokens. Actually, it'd be preferred that you move your tokens to the southern part of this map so that you can see where you're at, because it's going to be very important depending on what you do next. So if you're not used to Roll20, you go to your journal and drag and drop over your name onto the map, and you'll make your little token. But yeah, I believe as Alexander had mentioned, tinkering around with the hourglasses. Does anyone do anything?
I'm gonna fiddle with the middle one.
Okay, so do you turn it over?
Halfway.
Okay. You start to see your hands become like just a very faint aura of frost magic begin to emanate from it. But as you stop turning it halfway, the magic seems to stop as well.
I'm gonna do one at a time. I'm gonna put it back where it was, and then I'm gonna turn halfway on the other two as well to see what happens with each one at a time.
Which one do you do first?
Left.
You do left. Do you do it all the way or do you do it halfway?
Halfway again.
As you do it, you get frost magic, but it seems to be a little bit different than the previous one. And then as you move to the right one, as you start turning it halfway, your senses suddenly open up for but a moment, and you feel like you're peering a few seconds into the future. And you're seeing, as your hands are outstretched, you see yourself with your hands outstretched with the frost magic coating your hand, pointing towards the water at different, effectively 5-foot squares to create little ice bridge platforms. But nothing's happening as you point towards it. You're just seeing a vision of what happens. So mechanically, as you start to do this, you get a sort of a mini glimpse of the future. But because you only turned the hourglass halfway, I can't give you the full description of what you know now.
Okay. When I start getting the vision, I will go ahead and turn that one all the way.
As you do, you hear a very faint click noise from the far leftmost hourglass, like it's been locked and it seems like it won't move. And you can now, mechanically, because you've turned it all the way, here's what you get. You get 15 feet of frost magic, of access to a shape water cantrip that lets you add ice platforms to this room in whatever order you like. But they will not make a permanent platform. You just get to see what happens when you make a platform. And as you actually fully turn the hourglass, you hear a faint voice in the Gitzerais tones speak the word future.
I say future.
No, that's what you hear. Like it's effectively telling you the hourglass stands for future.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I wasn't clear with the phrasing.
So I just saw the future, and we can shape water into ice, and I'll be able to see what happens as a result.
So the left one shows you the future.
No, this is the right one.
Oh, the right one shows you the future.
Right one is the future.
Mm-hmm.
What did the middle one show you? Anything?
No, I just sensed frost magic gathering when I turned those halfway.
What about the left?
Slightly different frost magic, though I think I heard a click. It might be locked now.
I think, if this makes sense to everybody, that we need the frost magic to put, you said you saw blocks?
A bridge.
Bridge.
Ice.
To do the bridge of ice and then see what happens when we
Yes.
go across it? I'm guessing?
I know. Strange. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I know we're gonna need to create don't know, looks like maybe 40 or 50 feet of bridge. And I know I can create 15 feet at a time. So this
Can
should
we
be
not just swim?
Is Zivata even real?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick my foot in it.
Okay, where do you stick your foot?
I mean the edge. Just
Yeah, nothing happens.
does it feel like water? Does it feel?
It
wet?
feels like water. It feels real. Like it feels like it's quite deep as well.
I mean, I don't want to get wet.
also worth mentioning we don't know what's in that water.
Damn it.
True.
It's like I was hoping no one would bring up that point.
I'm just sitting here like she's putting her foot in. I'm gonna be like piranhas everywhere.
I mean, I think we have to do something. Maybe.
Well, let's try making the bridge real quick. I mean, I know it's only 15 feet, but I'm gonna go ahead and make 3 consecutive squares right here, here, and here.
Okay. So to be clear, with what you have access to, what you're able to do,
Mhm.
you with the hourglass that you've overturned, you don't actually make one that lasts. You just get to see what happens when you place it because you've overturned future.
Okay,
You get to basically test out what will happen when you do that.
gotcha.
So, and now because you've chosen those 3, I'm able to tell you what happens. So, for this one that you picked, the last one,
Mhm.
when you start putting down the first 2, nothing happens. But when you put down the last one, out of nowhere, a large watery elemental snake just jumps out of the water and tries to constrict the whatever was on the actual platform. Nothing happens to you, and no one else actually sees this. You just get a vision of this because you chose future and you tested that spot. So I'm marking it on your map. That X indicates, from what you would be able to get this, because Alexander is quite intelligent, because you have like 20 intelligence or something, you get the sense there are probably spots in this room where that will keep happening. The future one effectively is a way to test what will happen when you go on certain blocks.
Gotcha. Someone turn the middle one.
I will
I'll
do it.
do. Oh, you go ahead.
As you
Turned.
turn it all the way, you get access. I'll tell you mechanically because narratively it's you feel frost magic coat your hands, and this one is more permanent than what Alexander had noted. And as you point to any square, it looks as though that water is beginning to turn to ice to form a permanent platform. So mechanically, what you can do now that you've moved the present hourglass is this gives you access to make a permanent platform.
So what we need to do is find out where all the snakes are, so that we do not. Can I just put a permanent platform over the whole thing?
No, it's
Let's-
15 feet worth.
Okay.
So I'm not giving you the entire 40 feet in one turn.
Come on.
It's a puzzle. You have to figure it out. Otherwise,
Can
you're
it?
going to
Can
upset
it? Does
the
it have
DM.
to start on my end, or can it be in the other end?
It could be on the other end. Also, before we players chime in more, thank you, $25.49 donation from Slam B. No crit specified. Love you, Slam. Thank you so much for donating and helping us out.
I'm gonna test another future real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on the X this time instead of next to the X, and then here and here.
Same exact thing happens.
Okay.
So these 2, I'm marking off as X's. These are dangerous. Except, oddly enough, the third one that you put down, the farthest one, not only do you see the elemental snake, also noting for the record, Astraeus, you have another crit to work with, should you ever need it. you see not only the water elemental snakes suddenly jump out of the water, you also see what looks like weird, almost tentacly flails at the end of a head just start peering out and flailing rapidly against it.
Oh, well, definitely
Yeah.
don't want to go on that square. Hmm. All right.
So these first two in that row are
Those-
safe.
They're safe. So if you, for anyone who would like to, for those first two that Alexander has put down, you can use, you can go to the left-hand side of the roll 20, and you can just draw a little sort of rectangle marking that those are safe, that those are effectively starting to form the bridge for you to get across.
I'll do it.
Okey-doke. But yeah, essentially from the information you have so far, it looks as though the present gives you a way to create platforms. The future one gives you a way to test out what will happen if you do it.
It was two more to one more to the right that was safe.
Yep.
Not the squares that are currently marked.
Which ones?
To the one square to the right.
Okay, I can move them.
And to my understanding, the X on that first X affected the platform directly in front as well.
Basically, from the first two that you've tested throughout those different ones have been fine. Everything else after that point has been dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't tested anything to the right of the platforms you've put down so far, and you haven't tested anything to the left. Also, as a quick side note, thank you, Mythalion, for joining us here, and welcome to the party and joining the party. We love you. Thank you for joining us for a little bit of old school DnD5E, as our adventurers are trying to get across a very, very safe pool of water.
safe.
So if you just test each square,
Mm-hmm.
eventually
Get
we're
us
going to have the entire map, correct?
Or
Yes.
if we just try to get a path, a single path even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll try these three.
Okay, so
Bam.
which ones? So this one, and this one?
Yep.
All three of those are safe.
Awesome.
So you got even more of a path worked out.
I'm curious. I'm gonna take just something. I don't know, like something I have in my bag that's like irrelevant. A book. I have an irrelevant book, not the important book. But and I'm gonna like hold it over one of the unsafe squares. I just want to know, is it like occupying that square, or is it like the ice specifically?
So before anything, it's frightening to me that you would hold a book in a dangerous situation while there are two wizards in the party, only because of that.
I'm the
I'm
sage.
very upset by this.
But also,
Choose anything else.
as you put the book over, you start seeing a watery snake emerge out of the water, and it just, it doesn't look happy.
Pull it back, pull it back.
Like it's just doing one of these, like.
Please don't.
Please don't
Don't
ruin
threaten
a perfectly
books.
good book.
Take the book back. There are lots of books. There are lots of copies of this book.
They
That's
must
why I
be
use it.
protected at all costs.
Calm down.
Alexander, I think we should test the one here. Oh, I'm drawing still. Let me get back to
Whoop.
this one to see if we can get a path and then keep going down the row.
We can move diagonally.
But
Yeah.
it would, okay, fair. Just worried about how hard that will be.
Like, it's gonna be fine.
No big deal. We'll just fall in the water and die. NBD.
I mean, I'll test it.
Okay, so which ones are you testing?
That one right there, that one right there, and that one right there.
Okay, so you're testing this one, this one, this one, and this one?
No, the two diagonal movements, and then the connecting one right here.
Here?
No.
Down at the.
Someone else ping it on the map. Okay. Yes,
But-
your last one that you pinged is safe. Your last one that you pinged, safe. Diagonal to the left, you start seeing a hard shell creature with a very slimy snail-like body start emerging out of the water and just rapidly flail at the diagonal to the left one.
Nope. Don't go to that one.
But the one to the right is safe.
All right.
So this one is safe. The other one is not.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
All right. I'm gonna test here, here, and here.
Okay, so here, safe, here, safe, and here,
No, the
here.
No,
here,
here.
Right?
This one, not safe.
not safe as well.
This one is safe.
This one is safe.
And
Okay.
this one,
This
is
one is safe as well. Okay.
yes. So as it stands, you have a
Ice
clear ice path all the way across
Mhm.
And
with all the ones that you've tested.
I'm gonna test that one as well. Right here.
Yep,
That one's safe as well.
that one is safe as well.
Yay, we found a path.
Yay.
You just had to take time. And also bear in mind that the actual like in-game, what you are doing is Alexander is like running across the bridge, tests these 3 areas, runs back across, flips over the hourglass, runs back across the bridge, tests the 3, and it's very
Yeah.
silly, but it's amusing to the dungeon master at least.
so 3 of us at a time can go, because I can only make 3.
Yeah, you can
squares.
keep making
But we
as so
can
long
just-
as you keep heading back to the hourglass, you can keep making more. But the idea is that the right one is able to test ones, and the
Okay.
center one is able to make permanent platforms for you to get across.
So I make 3, go back, flip it, go make 3 more, flip it, go make 3.
It is-
Okay, yeah. So
So the
It is-
super athletic wizards.
I do
Yeah.
that.
Like
Yeah,
doing
it's-
the running thing.
It is probably the most cardio any wizard has ever had to do for a puzzle ever.
I mean, I guess this explains my 18 dexterity.
Yeah, let's say I have a 14 dexterity. I think I'll make it.
Now my
Yeah.
strength is 5, but
You're all cardio, but there's nothing actually like in your legs or your arms. It's
Yeah, I can't lift anything, but I can run for days.
yep.
Cardio would be constitution.
Oh yeah. Well, my constitution's 12, so I'm above average.
And my con's 14, so yeah.
okay. Stat comparisons aside, everybody.
We're
What
not
do we have to, what do we have to do to get across this bridge? Just like go? Is it
Oh,
Yeah.
as far as you can
not
tell, just go.
trepidatious? We're not gonna fall off in the ice because it's ice. I'm just asking.
I will test it.
I can go.
I-
I'm
I can
smallest.
literally
Like-
levitate, so if you want, I can test it.
Levitate technically only lets you go up and down, so you can do that, but someone would have to like do
Push
like
you.
a kid on
No,
the
I mean like.
Oh my
I mean,
god, can I
like-
do that, please? Can I just push a straight along?
I meant more.
Like-
I will
Love it.
test the bridge because in a bad situation,
Oh.
I can just
Oh,
levitate.
okay.
myself
That,
out
that
of
was
the-
unclear because I was like, do you
Sorry.
want someone to do like the little kid on the leash kind of thing?
That would be so much fun, though.
You've now become an Aragonasi child in like a stroller leash or something. Also, while we're having this moment of amusement, $66.67 coming from Dragon Gem. Thank you so much. If you have anyone you want to specify for a crit or for advantage and such, because we have pretty much, I'm going to say this right now, everyone has at least one advantage and a crit to use up because we have gotten so many donations so far. Thank you so much to everyone who's already been donating and contributing. You're making so many things better for so many people's lives while we are all entertaining you with a party that is trying to literally cross water.
Just water.
Just water.
First one. It's just water. Be thankful your Ganassi is not a fire Ganassi. Oh, it's a crit for the DM. I will take that.
What? Time
Right.
out.
I don't want that.
Oh no.
It's like I don't want it.
That's just
I don't want it. That was
It's
rude.
good. It's good.
But yes, if so it was Irving, you were taking the time to cross the to make it
Yeah.
test the bridge.
Yeah.
You make it across safely with the path, the specific path that you've designed. No harm comes to you whatsoever because you have taken the time and care to test one and check it, and you make it all the way across. And as you're standing on the edge, you sort of see both of the plate armored statues.
Mhm.
Like they both do one of these.
I'm gonna, yeah, go across.
I have an aeronaut. I'll make my way across.
Doop-a-doop-a-doo, let's halfling gnome just hopping across the
Mhm.
water.
I conjure some ice skates on my feet because minor conjuration is just fantastic, and I skate across this bridge.
That's
Minor
good.
Conjuration, the School of Wizardry, if you want to be just that little bit of extra in your life.
Mur doesn't walk, she saunters.
Like there you have like very epic, like just for Merida, just like slow down music.
Yep. And there's like wind out of nowhere that like blows her hair backwards. Who knows?
It's actually the Conjuration Wizard.
It's actually me. I'm just standing there.
My ice skating performance.
Your ice skating perform. It looks to all of you. It looks spectacular. Like, damn, he can skate. Okay, and as all of you make it across safely with no harm, no foul play or anything, you are able to go up to the statues. Each of them holds their trident up in front of them and salutes you. And you see an image appear of both Amakonisa, the divination specialist, Gesserai divination specialist, and Alston Turin, the little bushy bearded rock gnome, appear in front of you. And they give you the following message. To peer beyond the veil and gaze upon time itself is often prized by the most studied of wizards, and to know one's mistakes is a gift to all who practice the magical arts. However, the wisdom of time is not the purview of only the divination expert, nor should it ever be. Gaze back across time, to the past, present, and future, and look not only at what can be gained from what has gone before you, but also what has been lost and can be reclaimed. Change is inevitable, but its arc need not bend without your input. Congratulations, and may Ignis be with you in the rest of these rooms. And the images here.
Hate teachers. Ugh.
Just see a sad, project image appears again and makes a very sad face.
Is there a doorway out of here? I don't.
Very heavy rocks just part and the archway opens up, almost as if in response to your query.
Very well then.
Maybe we should just ask that at the beginning of every room.
For the answer, yes. Might save us some time. Well, I must say that was quite clever.
But yeah. Y'all ready to head out into the next location? Okay. Astreas. Roll me a d4. Scandalous. I saw that name. I think your DM will remember this. Okay. Let's double check what we're pulling up. Ooh, it's that one. Wanted to do that one.
Don't like it when the DM says,
Oh.
"Ooh, it's that."
Oh,
one."
I wanted to do that one.
The DM gets excited. You gotta get scared.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the moment that everyone should panic because
Is it time for a break right now?
No.
I thought that was a serious question. I'm like, wait, no, please don't tell me we're already at that point because I've been trying to pace this very well. But we are moving to a new map.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's shaped like a dragon.
Yes, that's because your senses get overtaken by a flash of light once again. On the producer end, I have changed the map if that's the thing you need to change for the viewers as well. So, as the light fades from all of your fades from your view, your senses are recovered. You are all standing once again on the southern portion of this map, and you see 3 distinct pathways in front of you. As one of the perhaps minor things that you notice about this room, you see a leftmost path that looks as though it's molten volcanic rock just forming a bridge to make it across to the northmost section of the room. The center path looks like plain stone that has pretty bland, nothing interesting about it. And then the rightmost path is a set of icy platforms that are have frost all over them, but look as though there's no danger in the crucible. And beyond those 3 pathways, there's just barren, like empty space. Like we're talking like old school Nintendo 64, like pit trap room, like Legend of Zelda, where like if you fall into it, you hear the scream, and then you appear at the beginning of the room again. Like that's the level, so you have a sense visually. But that's probably not what catches all of your attention the most, as at the northern side of the room, you see a dragon. A adult, fully grown red dragon, just staring at all of you angrily.
And how far across?
About 40 feet across.
Okay.
But again, very giant, angry red dragon.
Arrow knocked.
Is it moving?
It's not moving. It just seems to be guarding another one of these archways along, flanked on each side by another set of plate armored elemental statues. These ones composed entirely of fire and wielding a set of scimitars.
Can anyone tell if that beast is real?
What's your school of specialty?
Divination? I can tell. What would that be?
It would be are you attempting to decide whether or not this creature
I would
is
like
real?
to ascertain if the dragon is real.
I would say it's an investigation check.
Ooh.
I mean, I could fire an arrow at it, but I don't feel like that'd be the best way to tell.
It
Yep,
does not
probably not.
provoke it.
I actually have investigations, so I'll.
Oh, I do
also
too.
roll.
And
Yeah. Yeah, Irving, as far as you can tell,
I just want to.
that's a real dragon. Like that is a real scary ass dragon.
Very scary.
Alexander, it's not a real dragon. It looks very real, but like everything about it, like its movement, its gestures, the breath coming out of it, it is affecting the space around it. But as far as you can tell, it's not actually real. It's very faint, but there's just the little bits in its movement, like around its wings and its neck, that are, you can tell, are not real.
It's not real.
Yes, it is.
I promise it's not. I'm going to cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay.
Am I getting some illusion magic?
You cannot see anything in this room, which is to say everything is just like overwhelming light in this room. Everything is like this is not to knock you as a player, but bear in mind, you're in a magical research room of a magic academy casting Detect Magic. It's literally everything, but more to the actual helpful point. You do know a lot of evocation magic nearby and illusion magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a feeling I would probably be like overwhelmed by color, but
yeah, it takes like a couple of minutes after the casting to actually get your senses back. Like you're disoriented from that.
Mm-hmm.
And but where are you looking in the room in particular?
I'm gonna mainly be looking at the dragon, but I mean, I would, since the ritual lasts so long, I would try and get a glimpse of kind of the whole thing, or glimpse with quotations around.
Are you saying you're moving up closer to it?
I mean, it's been a while since I've read Detect Magic. 30 feet away. Oh shoot. I forgot it had that range.
So I'm asking, what are you looking at?
I'm just going to take a quick scan of the room from where I'm standing.
Okay. Are you when you look to the left, you detect illusion magic for certain. When you detect to the center, there's no illusion magic, and when you detect to the right, there's definitely illusion magic.
Gotcha.
So the left and rightmost paths appear to have some kind of illusion magic that's been cast on them. The center path does not appear to have any sort of illusion magic cast on it whatsoever.
Perhaps if we toss something on the paths, we could tell if they're real as well.
Okay, so you said the outer paths have illusion and the middle path has what on it again?
It has nothing.
Nothing on it.
Nope.
Okay. So I'm going to dismiss Detect Magic so I can see again. And
it's like if someone effectively made your eyes turn into a kaleidoscope display. Like that's how overwhelming the amount of magic in this room is.
Please tell me that like they were actually like kaleidoscopes for anyone that saw my eyes.
It's spoken, therefore it's canon. That's how that works.
So, I mean, as anyone could have possibly predicted, there's just an overwhelming amount of magic in this area. About halfway through, I can see that the middle one has no magic on it whatsoever, and the outer paths have some form of illusion around them. And if I had to guess, I mean, that dragon, its movements are off. It looks like an illusion as well, but I can't confirm it until I move closer.
I think we should be cautious, as we were advised that danger can be ever present here. So
There's a dragon right there.
Even with the things that may seem less dangerous, I am very distrustful of this room in particular.
Sometimes the simplest trick will carry you a long way in accomplishing your goals. Was the second half of that. What could be simpler than walking the middle path?
Throwing sand or rocks on the path.
I'll flip a
Quite simple.
coin. Just a moment. Let me dig out. She flips out a copper piece and flips it onto the center path.
Okay.
Just tossing it on there. See if it lands.
While you're doing that, another $25 donation from Slamby.
Nice.
Thank you so much for helping us out here and for joining us for this wonderful session of pure kindness and niceness and super trusting. And oh dear Lord, we are at 69% of our goal.
Nice.
So first off,
Nice.
Nice.
thank you so much to everyone who's been donating so far. We all appreciate it so much. And
Someone clip this.
no one has clipped this. Please clip this, because that was the appropriate reaction we should have all had. But yeah, so Kylie, what did you decide? Which path did you look at or want to take?
I flip a copper piece on the center path there just to see if it's real or not.
Okay, it's real.
It's real.
Just to humor me, Kylie, roll me a strength check. Just a simple strength check to see how far it goes.
Well, getting there now.
And don't forget, you all have at least one crit available to my knowledge.
Woo! Whoops. First one.
We'll count the crit as your crit if you're using a crit.
No, I'll just take the first roll.
Okay, you'll take the first roll. So it lands about 10 feet over, 10, 15 feet over. As far as you can tell, nothing seems iffy about it.
Hey, Astrid, just want to go.
I hop over.
Okay, so three of you are hopping over?
I'd like to also, I want to like do this same thing. Like, I'm just gonna take a coin and like a handful of coins, and I'm just gonna like drop one in front of me like as we walk.
Every 5 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, is everyone
Super
waiting for Astraeus to do that?
I'm gonna be behind Astrid.
Yeah, I'm going last. There's a fucking dragon.
Yeah, okay. Astraeus, you get about, let me double check my map because I am great and I don't remember what my own map looks like. 15, 20, you get about 20 feet across as you're trying to be careful with the coin. As you chuck it forward, you suddenly see, actually, roll me a dexterity check, Astraeus. Okay, that's enough. You notice this in time. You start seeing, descending from above you, a rather dazzling display of bright chromatic lights that begin to overtake your senses, but you are able to pull back, but you see the area of effect for the spray is spreading across just the bridge, and it's going to overtake all of your allies right now. I need a wisdom saving throw from Mirror and Irving. I will say, Astraeus, you have advantage because you were able to catch it in time. That's a big old yikes. Unfortunately, none of you pass.
Did I need to roll that as well?
Did you also go over the center bridge?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna need one from you too. Nope.
Oh, I might as well. I mean, I have 3 crits. Maybe I should just use one of them.
Okay.
I'll use one of my crits.
You all have at this point like 2 crits. You can spend them if you'd like. Okay.
If it is
Okay.
relevant, I am alert, by the way.
Yes, so that's true. You technically can't be surprised. So that would have given you the advantage on that. Okay. Oh, yikes. That's going to be rough for some of you. Okay. So for Mir, Irving, Alexander, well, actually, for all 4 of you, because I don't think Kelly had actually gone across the bridge just yet.
I'm still, yeah.
I was going last no matter what. So if somebody hadn't
With the
gone,
other
I
wizard.
wasn't there.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
I'm beside
You're
the-
still. We'll say you're still affected, but this last effect will now carry over to your allies instead. So, Mir, you're gonna take. Let's see.
But if I use my crit, because I have 3 crits, so I'm going to use one of mine.
Okay.
Okay.
Kylie, you're okay.
I'll burn. Oh, okay. Never mind.
You're okay. You're out of the range. But for pretty much everyone who didn't use a crit, you suddenly feel this hypnotizing pattern of chromatics, lights, and displays overtake your senses, and you become incapacitated and charmed, and you just don't want to move. And as you are not moving, I'll say Irving, because you were the most cowardly, thought ahead, whichever term is more appropriate.
Dragon.
Dragon. You get to see your allies, and I'll say Astreus as well, because did you burn a crit, Astreus?
I did not. I thought
Okay, so
17
you
would
are
be
so
good enough.
Alexander. Technically, Irving is also incapacitated as well by this, but you are
this
not
a
hit by
spell?
it. This is a spell.
I'm gonna cast counterspell. Can I do that?
Actually,
Could I do that?
you don't. Actually, it's a little tricky.
That's okay. If I can't, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm probably going to rule this one as no, because
Okay.
you all see 6 scorching rays suddenly come out of nowhere from the top of the room and hit Mir, Astreus, and Alexander repeatedly. They all had advantage to hit you, and all of them hit. And on Mir, one of them was a crit. So that's, oh boy, that's bad news bears. That is 7, 14. So that is going to be 28, but you do that. So that's going to be 14 points of fire damage to Mir, 14 points of fire damage to Alexander, and 14 points of fire damage to Astreus.
Am I able to defend myself?
You are incapacitated. You cannot, you just are stuck there, just like looking into space.
Okay.
Yay, hypnotic pattern.
Hypnotic pattern is fun when it shuts down an entire party. But after you got hit, you all regain your senses. By the way, the dragon is still very angry looking at all of you.
But where was it that triggered?
About 20, 25 feet down the platform. That's why, Astreus, you got advantage for the save, because you picked up on it, and also you have alert, so you had a sense to try and watch out, but you still didn't save in time.
And did Kylie see this come down from the ceiling?
Yes, it's just seemed to appear out of nowhere from the
Out of
ceiling.
nowhere. Okay, so she'll be looking up there.
Of not
Maybe an
looking up.
investigation.
You all made the TF2 mistake of never looking up.
Yeah, that's bad. We should know better.
Demo man.
But it's more fun.
Dragon.
Hey. But yeah, I get the impression that this might be poor assumption on my part, but I assume all of you get off of the center bridge after that happens. Also, we've received a $35 donation from Lydia. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lydia. Woo, good to see you.
But yeah, again, you have as a
no.
reminder for what you know, there is a leftmost path that you know has illusion magic on it that looks like a volcanic molten path of fire and rock, and a right path that's icy platforms that you know also has illusion magic on it.
Oh, that makes more sense. Somehow I missed that.
I'll walk over here. Kylie will head over here, and I'll flip another copper piece out onto the leftmost path there that I'm pinging.
Yeah. As you do, the piece lands on the molten rock. It doesn't get hotter.
That's
Like
odd.
nothing happens to it.
You said this was an illusion. Perhaps there's no heat there at all.
Quite possibly. I was simply worried that there might not be a platform there.
Right. Oh, good thinking there. Yeah, hadn't crossed my mind. That's why I'm not the wizard. Perhaps wizards are of some use to have around after all.
I'd like to think of that.
There was so much shade in that one statement. I love Kylie so
The
much.
backhanded compliment of the century.
Take that any way you like.
I'm
Okay.
going to roll investigation to see if I can see through this illusion and see what's actually there.
All right, roll investigation. You have no idea. Also, but I will add, you all still have at least one advantage because people have been donating up a stream for all of you. This is the most. Oh, and another crit that goes to Feinman. Crits for days.
So many crits.
It's just crits, just everywhere.
It's raining crits.
It's raining crits.
It's raining. Sorry.
Take us home.
If only it was raining crits from the DM side.
No.
No. It's raining puzzles over there.
No.
Everyone just has the same like head shake of just
Yeah.
no. Even our producer is looking at us with a no.
Astreas, you said you can float if you need to. Do you want to see about this one, the coin trick that you were doing before? And then I could come and grab you if I need to.
That works for me.
Our producer
I'll
is
try
terrifying me
to-
with 3 crits at once. This is terrifying. Producer, stop distracting me.
Yeah, stop being distracting.
Okay, Astreas, so were you going on the path?
I'll go on the magma path. I'm gonna do the same trick. I'm gonna make sure I'm being as alert as I can be.
And
Yeah.
can I keep an eye? I'm gonna go behind her, and can I keep an eye for like any traps above and or below us?
Yes, you can feel free to do perception because it's a little bit too far away for you to actually like physically test out or try and investigate it, but just do a perception check and you can.
Nope. That's a one. Hey, you know what? I have a reroll. I'm gonna use that.
Okay. Probably a good time to use a reroll.
No, it's 2 ones. I'm just gonna take it. The universe wants me to have a
Wow.
1. The universe is
Wow.
giving me a 1. It's fine.
Thou shalt fail.
I'm not even gonna use a crit because no, it's the universe has decided.
That is awesome.
That's funny. Wow.
Pat, let's give it up for our double and Captain J Cross adding in the on-point comment of the dice just saying in all
Nope.
caps no.
No.
All right.
And Wesselhausen adding in that's a big old yikes, which is accurate. This is a
You
no.
perceive nothing.
This is Mary.
The room.
This is really pretty molten rock.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. Astreas, like you notice that Mira is just caught up with this and has somehow ignored the fact that as you're standing on it, you don't feel any heat. Like it's chilled, cooled rock. There is nothing there. And as you test with the coin the entire time, nothing happens. It's just cooled rock. Like now that you've actually stepped through the illusion, it's just a stone path. There is nothing dangerous about the leftmost path at all.
Cool. Well, this path seems pretty safe so far.
Like how you think. That's the appropriate attitude to take.
This is really pretty. Like, how pretty is this, right?
Very pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can make
I'm
your way
still
across.
staring at the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll walk all the way across.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
feel free to-
distractedly follow, but yeah.
Yeah, feel free to move your characters all the way across.
I
So,
will
right-
have my arrow knocked and trained on that dragon.
Yeah. So remind me, the only one who has actually investigated the dragon is Alexander, correct?
Oh, I did. I just
You
Failed.
you failed, but who passed
yeah.
a check on it is Alexander, correct? Okay.
I know what-
I'm just too caught up in this pretty magma rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. This dragon is still staring at all of you. I will say, Alexander, throughout this time, while the dragon has been looking at the group going through it, it seems to have ignored you now that you've taken the time to investigate it. It seems to have picked up that you noticed, but it's still staring very angrily at everyone else. And has everyone else made their way across the bridge? Like, I know some people are saying they made it.
Yeah, I'll go.
I'm gonna
Last.
stop people before they cross the bridge.
Okay.
I need you to really look at that dragon before you go any further.
All right.
Okay.
Very well.
Mir's just like, but the molten rock is
It's like
so
really pretty. But okay, I'll look at that dragon. What are we
I was
rolling?
willing to take your word for it.
What if it makes him mad?
Just investigation. I will say, Irving, at this point, you can re-roll an investigation check
They
if you would
get
like.
advantage for
Yes, you get
providing
advantage.
help action.
How does that happen? How does that happen?
So I'm just gonna point out for the benefit of chat that
Because I used the help action.
literally pointed at our player and laughed in mocking agony. And Jay crossed in the chat with the wonderful additional comment, the dice saying, "Did I stutter?"
I was like, that is 3 nat ones in a row. In
about this
a
is
row.
really
Thank you, Roll20. I know you love me. Yep.
Getting them out of the way. You'll get.
Yeah,
All of you do have advantage.
Irving, you've been scared like shitless this entire time about this, and like suddenly you're like, oh wait, not real.
I don't think I have an advantage. I have a crit, though.
No, I used the help action, which gives you advantage.
Oh, then I'm going to use advantage.
Okay,
And if I roll another one, oh my gosh.
that is just a sign that you are cursed.
No! Oh, thank heavens.
The thing with Kylie and Audrey, y'all can reroll because y'all have advantage from me.
Yeah, that's true. So you can re-roll it one more time.
Oops.
And Astreus, if you wanted to re-roll, you can. Because Alexander did take the help action with pointing that out. Exact same thing. So
I like how both of them got exactly one higher.
So, as is the case, I'll say at this point, there enough of you have figured out that it's not real, that the dragon is calming down. Does anyone approach the dragon?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
No, I'd stay far away.
It's pretty, right?
It's pretty. It
Yeah.
looks, Mir, it looks really strikingly similar to the molten rock.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's
I'm going
so
to
pretty.
It's so pretty.
As
No,
you
don't
go
touch
to,
it. Don't touch it.
As you go to touch it, the dragon just almost becomes cat-like in its behavior, and it's just like its giant,
Oh.
massive, like draconic head just like nestles against your hand. And mind you, this thing is about 30 feet wide and like 20 feet long. Like, this is a massive ass dragon.
You're such a pretty dragon. As she pets the dragon.
Tired of you petting it.
And you see it just in its happiness. And I'm being very clear when I say this, in a direction away from all of you, sprays a molten fire breath of fire, a molten fire breath in a different direction. And it's real. The breath looks real. Even through the illusion, it's real. It's so strikingly strong as an illusion that that would probably have hurt you if you'd gotten any closer to it. But the dragon just like is like cat-like against Mirror, and then slowly just sort of like raises one of its large claws and it like waves goodbye. And then it flaps its wings once and it disappears. And as that happens, you see another projected image appear in front of you.
All right, that was strange.
So this time, the pair of individuals is Professor Shuri Ororo, the Master of Evocation, and Moira Galanadel, the Master of Illusion. And they impart to you the following wisdom/message. The measure of someone's magical prowess can come from nature or the harnessing of the elements in bold, triumphant displays. But never doubt how far subtlety will take you and how much its influence can guide the most extraordinary of magical discoveries. Congratulations for making it through the room, and may Ignis be with you as you traverse the rest. And remember, be mindful. You are talented. Carry on. And the two images disappear after a very actually genuine, like not mocking, but and very sincere smile from the two of them.
Insight check.
You can roll it if you'd like.
I will, just to be silly.
As far as you can tell, Irving, with that insight check, you are 100% convinced Moira is a lich.
I knew it.
Like just the
Rightly so.
attitude, the general like distaste for actual affection and humanity and life itself. It's very lich-like.
Yes.
But
She is a problem.
yes, but once again, as the images fade away, the archway opens up, and the next room is available to you.
Before we proceed, they said that they couldn't divine in on these rooms, correct?
Yes.
What if we don't give them the stone back?
How would we have access to the library?
What if I told you that the Mandulis line is affluent and can get you similar resources?
How do we escape with it?
Well, we're all magical. Maybe we even failed our mission. Maybe we never recovered it, but we were able to recover the girl.
I am unwilling to get into a fight where we are both outnumbered, outgunned, and outclassed by our enemies.
Yeah. Also, as the last roll before, because we are reaching that point where we are about to go on a break, y'all. But Irving, do you mind rolling me in just a straight intelligence check, just at advantage as well?
Advantage, intelligence. There it is. Oh, really?
Wow.
Can I give him my credit?
Oh, well, no, I've got
Yes,
a crit. Can I just use my?
Yes,
my
you
crit?
can.
Okay, I'll just use one of my crits.
Okay, as you do that, Irving, you get the sense from the type of garb they're wearing and the very casual ease with which each of the professors carries themselves with, and the nature of the rooms you've experienced so far. These are, I'm going to say out of character just to emphasize the point, these are bare minimum level 14 wizards, all of them, and they have access to quite powerful magic. So bear that in mind with any of your schemes in the future, just as a note as your DM. But with that knowledge of what terrible magical onslaught may await you should you try and screw over people who are hiring you, we are going to go on to our break. I believe it was 5-10 minutes, so we're going to head off.
I need to do a couple announcements. Just
yes.
So you, okay.
Thank you to everyone who's been donating so far, but I'm going to shoot it over to our wonderful Mir/Kate.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to head to break for about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll be back. We are going to do a giveaway. The command for the giveaway is Nat1. Thank you so much for that, folks. You bet. It seems so. You could win a Rook and Raven Game Masters bundle, a $20 Modifius gift certificate for their store, or a Necromancy or RPG PDF by Jessica Marcoum, where you play cats, people. It's an RPG where you play cats. It's amazing. Anyway, but we are getting donations for Raíces Texas. They're an amazing organization that helps immigrants and refugees. And with what our nation is happening right now, we just think that sending them that support is the most important thing we can do. So donate at our Tiltify link. Right until noon today, I think is what was decided. Whatever time. I don't remember what time it was. It's up there and there. But we have matching donations up to, I don't know how much now. People just keep adding stuff.
Yeah,
so whatever the matching donation.
People.
Yeah, so at matching donations up to whatever it is, we'll put it in the chat and we'll probably tweet it out as well. But if you get your money in, it'll be matched. So your money will be doubled. It's a good time to donate. And then we will be back after the break.
Immigration has become the defining challenge of our generation. Communities are under attack because our US policies are pushing people into the shadows. How we respond to this challenge will determine how we are remembered and who we are. That is why Raíces exists.
Raíces is a nonprofit organization that offers legal services to the immigrant community.
The vast majority of our clients have zero resources, and we try to help them pro bono.
We work with people who no one else will work with. We work with people who are in detention, women, children. We work with people who've been detained at the border.
We work with families who are intact. We work with families who've been separated. We work with people whose families have rejected them because they might be transgender. We work with people who come from war zones whose families have all been killed. We try and take every case, and when we do, we see it through until the end.
I look at our clients and I see my own family. I am the product of an immigrant family's journey.
Many of us that work for this organization are immigrants ourselves.
I'm a former refugee from Iraq. I came in 2010. My clients have the same story as mine.
My grandpa was an immigrant from Cuba, and really when I look at my clients, I think of him and I think of the rest of my family.
As someone who came to this country undocumented, I feel privileged and honored that I'm able to do this.
We believe that the Constitution extends to all people in the United States, including immigrants.
We believe that everyone has a right to due process.
We believe that no person is illegal.
We believe that refugees are supposed to be in the United States.
I mean, we believe that families should remain intact, and there's no reason to separate them at the border as punishment.
We're committed to people. We're not committed to parties. We're committed to the people.
We believe that we're all human beings and we deserve to be treated well.
Raíces was founded in 1986 and born from the sanctuary movement, which itself was a response to immigration policies in the early 80s that really made it impossible for Central American refugees to seek protection here in the United States.
It was a two-person office to begin with. We didn't have air conditioning or heat. We were distributing food, clothing, had medical care. We weren't doing visa work until probably around 2000.
When I started at Raíces almost 20 years ago, we were only 3 people, okay? 1 attorney, another legal assistant, and myself.
We've been here for a long time, and yes, we've met each crisis as it's come.
We just need to keep growing and growing because there is a lot of people out there that needs our help.
We have a family detention program. We prepare people for their credible fear interviews.
We're in the detention centers every day, talking to our clients, hearing their stories.
We have a children's program. We provide legal presentations for the children's rights.
Children need representation while they're still in detention. Otherwise, they would go to court alone.
We have community immigration services, which can range from renewing an application for DACA to applying for citizenship to applying for a visa on behalf of a crime victim.
We have a refugee resettlement program.
We help them to adjust into this country. We help them with housing and food and medical.
But also when they move to other cities in this country and need continuing services.
It's really about creating those partnerships with the community to make sure that our new community members feel welcome and safe and protected.
Last year I was almost deported, and Raices came in, and without knowing anything about me, they helped me, and I don't think I would be there if Raices hadn't helped.
I hope that one day our clients can be able to walk out on the street without a fear in their hearts. I want to be able to have a country where we can welcome asylum-seeking families in a system that isn't designed for them to fail.
They're a grassroots kind of organization that helps the community at the most basic level. They went out of their way to help me, and because of them, I'm able to keep going to school. I'm able to keep the life that my dad brought me here to build.
When you work at Raices, you actually get to witness our nation being born anew. Every time we work with a client, you're literally watching the beginning moments of one of those stories that we hear about. We talk about our forefathers. We actually work with people who will be the mothers and fathers of the future generation of Americans.
The most patriotic people that I've ever met are new immigrants. The most ambitious people, the most qualified people. These are the best people that their countries are sending. Why would you want to close the door on that?
We've been doing this work for more than 30 years. We were here before. We're here now, and we're not going anywhere.
everybody, we're back for more D&D fun. But before that, a couple announcements. Don't forget what we're here. We're here having fun playing D&D, but we're also here to raise money for Raíces, Texas, who are helping immigrants and refugees in our country at this time when it's super, super needed. There's just people that are going out and trying to catch them and put them in detainment camps, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good look. And so we're trying to help get them legal aid and everything that they need. So get that money in for donations. We still are in matching funds, so up to $350 until I don't remember what time it is. It's in chat, but we will get all your money is matched, is doubled. So get that money in. Let's do our giveaways from before the break. First off, we're going to give away a $20 Modifius gift card. Judokilla, you've won. Speak up in chat. Woohoo, go Judo! And then we're going to be giving away the Necromancy PDF by Jessica Markham. Fan, you won a cat RPG. Woohoo! And then, last but not least, the Game Masters bundle by Rook and Raven goes to Color Guards. Please speak up in chat. Let us know who you are and that we are, and that you won. All right, let's get back to the action.
Alrighty, let's get back into this. Hello, everyone who is just joining us. Thank you for tuning in to this magical research graduate student navigation, as our party members, having been hired to retrieve a student and a magic item from this location, have made it through 2 of the rooms here. We now move on to the 3rd room. Light overtakes you, usual spiel. It's like, God, can't see anything. And then it's like, but probably at this point for most of you, it's like, oh, yay, I can't see for a while again. This is getting tiring and everything. You now appear in a room of what feels like the entirety of the ground here is fertile earth. You see across the way another archway with, again, a pair of elemental plate armored soldiers, this time composed entirely of various kinds of stone and earth, with wielding a set of war hammers. You see in this room, as noted on the map, 3 distinct sections of land, each of them with three smaller plots of earth. The leftmost plot has what appears to be a bag of seeds in front of it. The centermost one, the plot of land, has a table in the center that looks as though it has a little pot for setting down and actually like taking over a fresh bloom to set it down and plant it. And the rightmost plot has what appears to be somewhat freshly disturbed earth in front of a tombstone. Also, a quick note before we get into our players getting into this, Judokilla, a donation of $5. Thank you so much. We love you.
Judo bud.
Hey. But yeah, this is what all of you see. You see the 2 elemental guardians, north end, these 3 plots of land. To repeat, 1 with a bag of seeds in front of it, 1 with a table with a pot to hold a plant or fresh blooms. The right one, freshly disturbed earth with a tombstone. What do you do?
Death is not to be feared, nor should life be taken for granted. Protect its fragile existence until the time is right, and when death arrives, face it with conviction and courage.
Perhaps we should plant the seeds and see what happens.
Collect the seeds. We collect the soil. We put it in the pot. That is the life.
I'm going to also, I'm gonna like prep myself to like physically defend this plant. Just in case.
Okay. So you're gonna be, so if you can move your token just to be close to that center plot of land. I'm not sure why you'd feel any at all whatsoever paranoid about something coming to attack you. What would ever give you that impression? So, Kylie, did you say you were wanting to take the seeds?
Yes, I'd like to see if we can perhaps plant these.
Okay. So
I will go for the soil.
Okay, so both of you working together, you take the bag of seeds, you open it up, and you're overtaken by this wonderful smell of just fresh lavender. Even though it's just seeds, it feels just like it's the clearest, brightest day of spring. It's wonderful, it's comforting. And as you set the seeds down into the earth, and Irving, as you just cover it with a little bit of earth and try and tend to it,
Prestidigitation.
it's amazing. Prestidigitation, the actual true wizard gardener's cantrip. Just like little bits of like water, just little bits of just setting the earth in. You start seeing the seeds just sink into the ground, and they burst. They start blooming immediately. You just see this vibrant patch of lavender just grow and spread out until the entire plot of land is covered in this beautiful, rich display of lavender blooms. And it's kind of quaint. It stands out dramatically in this room where the earth is like this very barren, dark, deep red, deep brown that's looks almost lifeless, but the seeds seem to take to the soil, and you have a full bloom of lavender plants there.
I'm going to use the cantrip druidcraft to create a breeze across the lavender to circulate. So you'll see Kylie kind of make a little gesture, and breeze blows across the lavender, and it fills the room with the smell.
It's comforting. It's there's just the faintest bit of sweetness to it as well, and it's a nice comfort in with all of the weirdness of this place and the rooms you've been dealing with and the dangers and an illusory giant fuck all dragon. It's kind of quaint to have this moment of just this very fragile bit of life just there blooming, and the smell is
she's definitely quietly reveling in the moment.
Yeah, you can take however long you need to just enjoy that moment. But to anyone else, what are you doing?
I'd like to ready an action because part of that rhyme was protect its fragile existence until the time is right. So I've got a readied action to firebolt any threat that comes at this plant.
Okay. But as far as you all see with being prepared, so we have Astreus just waiting by the table. We have Alexander just sort of preparing a firebolt to anything that arises. Mir, what are you doing? Irving, what are you doing?
I would do the same. I would firebolt. I would just have it ready in case anything attacks or, yeah.
Okay, Mir, what are you doing?
I think that I kind of want to look at the gravestone.
You're looking at the gravestone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what languages do you speak, Mir?
Good question. I speak Draconic, Common, Elvish, Halfling, Orc, and Sylvan.
In almost a overwhelming flash of all of those languages flashing through the tombstone, one after the other, you see your name written across in all of those languages, just written on the tombstone.
Boopy.
I think that she would touch the tombstone just to see if anything happens.
Nothing, as far as you can tell, happens.
Huh. So my name's on the tombstone.
What?
Yeah.
Can I walk? I'm gonna walk over there and look at the tombstone.
Irving, you see your name on the tombstone.
So my name is on the tombstone. So this is an illusion of some kind. This is. Do not let this get into your head.
No, it's not. I just wonder if, death isn't to be feared and we should embrace it.
Maybe we bury somebody? Please don't actually do that. That's a terrible joke.
I mean, what if we're supposed to?
What if we wait for this plant that grew very quickly to die very quickly and then bury it?
Well, maybe we have to transplant the plant into the pot and put it on the gravestone and kill it.
We're supposed to protect the life.
Yeah, we're supposed to protect life
Until the right time.
until it's the right time, and not to be afraid of death when it comes. So how would we know when it's the right time? Yes.
Well, can we move it to the pot and see what happens? Because we just have a pot, right?
Yeah, it's just a pot. It looks like it's big enough to hold a good amount of blooms. Also, oh God, I have to read out this message, particularly in the way that our producer has phrased it. Ting donated $15 for a reroll to Kate with the special note, more chances for nat ones.
Nice.
Oh, my apologies. I'm clearing up for our producer. This was not the producer's own term.
No, that's a Ting thing. Thanks, Ting.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Our producer is known to have such wonderful levels of sass that I just naturally assumed it was there. Well, it was hers. Pardon. But yeah. Do any of you, or is someone moving the blooms to the pot?
I will.
Okay. Kylie, you move just a patch of the blooms into the pot, and they almost seem to just sink in very gently and delicately and start just sprouting and taking hold in the pot. Immediately, a series of things happen, but before that, Kylie, I need you to roll me a d4.
Okay.
Oops. How many things come out to kill us? So roll up.
Let's see. What's the command again to roll? Is it /
/r space and then number of dice, D, and number of sides.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Let me roll something real quick. 9. Okay. Oh, sorry, you're probably hearing that on the audio. Apologies to people who are picking up my dice. So, first thing that happens is you all see a set of arcane text light up around the potted plant, as though there have been sigils that are just stationed all around it. And you see a magical protective ward appear around the plant, around the pot. At the same time, you see 2 figures rise up from out of the ground. You see what appears to be a massive, almost living boulder earth-like elemental and a centaur, long decayed and long having been embraced by undeath, appear out of the corner of the room. And both of the eyes you can see on these creatures are turned, staring directly at the potted plant. That does not hit the armor class, unfortunately. And Irving, I think you also had a prepped action as well.
Firebolts. Oh.
That's a 14. I do believe you still have 1 advantage if you would like to take that at this point.
Yeah, I'll use my advantage.
Okay. So that is, so click on Firebolt in the chat, and that should tell us how much damage you are able to actually manage. Let's see, let's pull up. All right, not going to that section, not going to that section. Okay, here's the right section. Let's see, Astral Dreadnought, Beholder. Oh, okay, there it is. I'm kidding. I would not have never actually throw an Astral Dreadnought to anyone. That's just mean. You're a terrible person if you do this. But with a 17, which one were you aiming for? The undead centaur-like zombie or the
undead one?
The undead one. Okay. With a 17, that is. Come on, there you go. Yeah, that is going to hit. So that's 6 points of fire damage against this centaur zombie. And Kylie had rolled a 3. So with that being the case, I am going to need, in the words of many DMs that have come before me, for all of you to click on your tokens and then roll for initiative, because if you don't click on your tokens, then it doesn't register the initiative.
It only took me 2 years to figure that out.
Seriously. Oh my gosh.
How do I get a token? I can't.
So go if you want to get your token to actually be on the screen, go to your name in the journal tab, drag your name over to the actual map, and your token will appear. You don't have a picture because you're the only one without a picture, it won't be that big of an issue, and you'll know that that one's yours. Yeah. So I'm going to say, Strauss, you were about right here since you were right there since you're protecting it. And everyone else, you can feel free to put yourselves wherever you'd like. But let's see. Okay. I'm only moving these to add the turn. I promise this is not them immediately attacking all of you yet. That part comes later.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Come on, roll 20. Stop being fussy pants. I realize that that's in your very nature to try and mess with me, but come on. Cooperate just for a charity stream. We're doing good things here. And with that being the case, with initiatives being rolled, and as I put these two creatures on the field, we're going to get into it as we have Irving. You're up first. What are you doing? You can see directly these two creatures. They don't seem to acknowledge anyone's presence whatsoever. They seem hell-bent on going towards the potted plant. What are you doing?
Gonna cast. What am I gonna cast? Let's cast Asleep on the undead.
On the undead one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's. I'm gonna cast that at first level.
Okay.
So 20 hit points worth.
Unfortunately, it is not enough. The sleep spell begins to take effect for a second, and then the creature just sort of shrugs it off. You get the sense it's not enough. The spell was not strong enough to take hold, but that is your action.
And my movement, I will pull back to there.
Okay. With that being the case, it is now the Earth Elemental's turn. It is going to very slowly begin making its way over, and it is going to ready an action. So that being the case, Alexander, Mir, whichever one of you has the higher dexterity, you can feel free to go first. But it's both of you share initiative at this point in time.
Let me go first.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on the Earth Elemental.
Okay. The Earth Elemental will need to roll a dexterity save. However, that is a 10. I'm pretty certain your DC is higher than a 10.
Yeah, it's a 15.
Yeah, it's coated in. Oh, actually, Mir, describe what the Fairy Fire looks like to.
Yeah, so Mir just goes like this and makes this very grand, over the top gesture because that's who she is. Extra. And very extra, and color purples and blues and pinks come out of her hands and just shoot at the elemental, and it's covered in all those colors swirling around it.
Okay. We have also been given had Estrellas receive a crit from the previous donation. 25 donation from Wiley Hobbit.
Thanks, Wiley.
I think everyone has 2 crits saved at this point. You may need this later. Mir, so that was your action. Is there any movement you want to make use of? And you have a bonus action.
I'm gonna move to kind of so the plant is right here.
Yeah, basically just treat it as it's right where Estrellas is right now.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna just go by Estrellas just to kind of try to be a buffer if they get close as my movement, and I am going to sing a little ditty for Estrellas, kind of do a little dance next to her, so she gets bardic inspiration.
Which I believe for you at your level is a D8. So
it's a D8.
Estrellas, you have a D8 to add to any roll. Okay, so that being the case, Alexander, the fourth. What did you do against 2 terrifying creatures?
Fireball!
Why am I not surprised? Okay, roll for Fireball. Where are you centering it?
I'm going to center it to where... let me draw some lines here real quick.
Yeah.
So I essentially want it to cover this... area, like where it's not going to, like, essentially it ends right after the elemental, so it's not touching the plant.
Okay, because I was about to say, with where you're currently drawing it, you are going to burn the plant and your allies. Now,
Yep, no, I want the line to be
to end right where the elemental is. Okay, so they're both going to make a dexterity saving throw against your DC, which I believe is with
16.
5. That's 13. Yeah. So that is going to be nope. That's a fail. Nope, that is a fail. That is oh Jesus, that is 32 points of damage to both of them. Okay. So that is going to be a pretty big damage for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that's my turn.
That's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Astreas, what are you doing?
So the first thing that I'm going to do is just hold my hand out. I have 2 separate weapons strapped to my back, but I can't do things the normal way. So as my bonus action, I'm going to summon my whip into my hand from my back. Like it's not like it's like packed away or anything. Like so it just appears in my hand. And I am going to attack.
Okay.
Is that the earth elemental?
Yes, that's the earth elemental that's moving towards you.
It's like not
out of character for anyone who's interested. It is a Galabdur, but I'm just saying earth elemental because that's easier to say than Galabdur. Yeah, it's right in front of you.
Yeah,
and you have reach with the weapon.
I do have reach.
So you can hit it.
And I am a duelist, so I have nothing in my offhand. So I get some extra damage there.
Woo! Whoa!
Oh, nice. Neat.
Nat 20.
I didn't even have to like use an extra one, I guess.
You didn't have to use an extra nat 20. You just had to be extra.
Yeah.
That's 12 points against the Galabdur.
Yeah. Is it?
It has included the extra crit damage.
Oh, it did include that. Okay.
No worries. It's already doing the modifier.
Neat. So that was my first attack. I am a fighter, so I get an extra attack. So I'm just gonna do the same thing again. And actually, I feel like I may as well. I'm just gonna use my crit. I'm just gonna auto crit this one too.
Yeah. So that is gonna be.
Let me see if it'll let me. Yeah. Cool.
All right. So that's another 9 points of damage. It's already looking quite hurt, just from the few hits and the fireball that's been taken.
Well, I'm gonna action surge.
All right.
And use my other crit.
Okay, roll it again. That's another 12 points.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, you get one more attack because action surge gives you the full action.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm out of crit, so I have to roll this one, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my god, you have to roll. When you don't get superhuman powers on call, suddenly the universe does not agree with you. But yeah,
I rolled the first one.
That's true. That's true. But this one, unfortunately, a 13 does not break through its armor class. All right, is that your turn?
That is
magnificent
my turn.
Action surging whip wielder. Okay, on the initiative count 10, alongside the centaur zombie, Astreas, you look up, which none of you did previously in this room, and you see.
I'm alert. I feel like I automatically.
You're aware of everything. You are basically in this mode the entire time.
I'm alert as well.
All right, but those of you who are alert versus everyone else, you notice a gout of fire begins to rain down from the sky, directly aimed towards the plant. You see the ward is absorbing the damage, but it's beginning to crack. So you have no sense of how strong that ward is, but 1, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The centaur zombie is going to run up, standing directly in front of you, Astreas. But rather than try and hit you, it is going to try and hit the plant. So it's going to take its 2 attacks on the plant. That is going to hit. And that is also going to hit. Oh boy. With that being the case, the plant, the ward shatters. And the next hit with its hooves begins breaking the potted plant. It's not entirely broken, but it's looking, mechanically speaking, it's looking really hurt already. And that's all the zombie's going to do. Kylie, you're up.
Okay, so you'll see Kylie dash 5, 10, 15, just to get into comfortable bow range.
Okay.
And then she will fire at the centaur zombie. And I'm going to burn a crit so that I hit.
Okay.
And I'm going to, before I declare my hit, I'm going to use my feet. And by feet, I mean F-E-A-T, sharpshooter. Yeah.
Okay, so whatever happens, so whatever you're, let's say for the sake of you, because you didn't roll it and you can't just spam Audrey's or Astreas's crit damage, we'll say, what is your normal weapon? It's a longbow, right?
Longbow, yep.
Okay, so we'll max it. We'll max the first hit. So it'll be 1d8. So that'll be 8 plus whatever your dexterity is. So I think yours is 4. So that's going to be 12 damage. So roll another d8. That will be your crit hit.
There's
okay,
5.
so that's 12 plus 5. So that's 17 damage on the first hit.
And did you add the 10 for the feet?
Plus 10, so that's 27 damage. You're aiming at the centaur zombie?
Yep.
Okay, it's looking very hurt now.
Do I have an ally within 10 feet? Yeah, I do.
You definitely do.
Okay, and this is a zombie, right?
Yep. The decaying flesh leads you to believe that it is an undead of some kind.
Yes, very good. One last thought here. Yeah, I'm going to use the Arcane Archer feature Shadow Arrow.
Okay, so that is going to
take
have
an additional 2d6 psych.
Roll to 2d6. I'll say because you did because you're declaring it now. Are you doing this for the second hit or the first hit?
Just the first arrow.
Okay, so roll 4d. Well, actually, I'll max the 2d6 and then roll another 2d6, and we'll add that on top. So that's 12 plus double ones. The ones return with a vengeance. The zombie centaur, it's barely standing.
Okay.
So we have a crit going to Kylie from DN Diapers, a $15 donation from Grendel's Matter, and
Thanks, Corey.
$25 from DN Diapers, and $5 earlier from Nancy Druid. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks.
We are getting so much during this whole session.
Thanks
You're
for the
helping us so
support.
much. Thank you. But yeah, Kylie, you still have one more attack, and this thing is looking very rough right now.
Yeah, I'm going to use a crit and try to drop it with another arrow.
You don't even need to roll. It's
sharpshooter.
It has 6 health points left.
Yeah. Okay.
Describe how you want to take out this centaur zombie because it's down.
Yeah, so the first arrow just sticks in its chest, and the second one's going to go right through its throat. And I mean, not stick in its throat, but through its throat.
Out the other side.
And drop it. Yep.
Yep, it's down. It's an undead. It's not going to be a very pleasant death when it goes. But as that happens, that one unnerved me more than my own. Well done. But yeah, Kylie, do you have anything you want to do for your bonus action? Well, actually, I think you have curved shot as an arcane archer, so you can make another attack roll against the earth elemental.
I could with that arrow, couldn't I?
Yeah, because arcane archer is really great at level 7.
Let's do that. Yeah, arcane archer is scary. So let's hit that longbow one more time.
All right, let's see if it breaks. That definitely.
Advantage.
You do also have advantages as well. I think all of you have at least one advantage, and I think,
it's got fairy fire. So
oh, you're right. Yeah, it does. So you roll advantage naturally. So roll it one more time just to see if you get a crit.
Yeah, we'll do just to see if we crit. Yep.
Nope, but more impressive shot. Jeez.
Yeah. So the curved arrow goes through the centaur and lodges in the side of the earth elemental.
That earth elemental is also looking pretty bad at this point. Like between the fireball, the whip strikes, and everything, it's looking very hurt. I think with all of that, that's your turn. Jesus, spiders are rough. I'm so excited to be playing one soon.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the top of the order, Irving.
I will assume that there is a roughly 5-pound stone on the ground near
If
me.
not, we're gonna say there is one because that's funny.
Perfect. I will cast catapult.
Oh God. Miriam, if you're in the chat, someone is doing you proud by yeeting a stone.
I am yeeting the stone.
At the earth elemental?
At the earth elemental with advantage.
Yep, don't forget that.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a dexterity
it's a save.
so that means
It's somehow made even more wonderful by the fact that you're saying it in that accent. I don't know why, but in that accent.
I will use the stone at the earth elemental.
Stone.
I'm like halfway between German and Scottish. I don't know what this accent is.
We'll figure that out.
Saxony.
Yeah, I like it.
Saxy.
It's Saxy.
Actually, no, that's something entirely different. Though very. We have to talk this now.
And so
yeah.
12.
How do you want this very tiny 5-pound stone to take care of this large bulging earth elemental?
Okay. I would like it to just slam right into its forehead and just lodge itself there, and it just.
Yep, you definitely have it. Like, this thing looks like it's about to step back and roll into a charge that I'm going to tell you right now would have broken the potted plant immediately. But as it's about to like do like a little wind up with its feet and just start rolling, you just hear thunk. And this earth elemental is entirely taken out. And with that being the case, they'll go out of fire, and you all hear a faint clicking noise. And it looks like the potted plant, the actual pot itself, is no longer seems to actually be attached or warded off in any way. The ward breaks, the sigils stop functioning, and it looks like it can be lifted more easily off of the table now.
Pick it up and take it over to the grave.
All right, where do you set it in the grave? Do you set it in the earth?
Yeah, I would try that first, probably.
Okay. Mir, as you set the potted plant down into the soil, you see dark necrotic tendrils emerge out of the ground and break the pot and start sucking the life force out of the lavender blooms until it slowly but surely fades away into nothingness.
A tear rolls down Kylie's cheek.
And all of you who probably at one moment or another, just in passing or from passive perception, were able to see your names on the tombstones, the names disappear. And emerging from behind the tombstone is another figure. Now, for anyone who's ever seen, I think it's like a famous painting where it's like the scream of like the long elongated face, or alternatively, if you've ever seen the live action The Mummy from like the late 90s, early 2000s, where like Imhotep is like doing the like flesh sucking face with the face extended. That's kind of what this creature's face looks like. It looks like a sickly pale, like 1950s black and white kind of like stock alien, but its limbs seem very elongated. The skin is this sickly, terrible pale white, and it has these long extended fingers, and its eyes appear, it seems to be focusing intently on the ground, and it has a cloak pulled over it, and it just sort of slowly ambles over to the front of the archway, or where the archway would be present, and it just stands there sort of waiting. What do you do?
I'm gonna not be afraid of it and ask it to open the door.
Do you look at it?
Yeah.
Okay. When you look at it, the creature, when you look towards it, the creature acknowledges this as a sign to look back at you. And as it does so, I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw. Okay.
Can I? Sorry, I have bardic inspiration still. How long does that last?
It lasts 10 minutes. It has not been 10 minutes since this whole thing happened.
Can I use that also?
Yes, you can roll a d8, see what you get, see if it's enough to make the save.
15.
I also appreciate that one of our players actually knows what that is. That is enough. You feel, as the creature stares into you, this overwhelming sense of sadness and pain and misery just sort of just pierce right through into your very heart, into your soul. And the fear is overwhelming, but you steel yourself, and with the strength given to you in part by the bardic inspiration by your ally, you feel no damage occur from this. As such, the creature sort of just nods and it sort of turns to its side to let you pass. The archway doesn't open, but it looks as though it moves out of your way so that it will let you pass without any issue.
I guess I'm gonna try to pass.
Yeah, it lets you by. Like, the archway still isn't open. Like, it looks like it's like it's kind of weird to describe it. It's looking at the ground, but you can tell it's sort of giving its forehead is in the direction of the party. It's looking like no matter what, it's waiting for everyone else.
Ew, everyone has to be unafraid.
Yeah, I'll just walk past it.
Likewise.
Yep, I just walked past.
The archway doesn't open.
I guess we'll have to look at it.
I think you have to look at it and prove yourself.
Okay.
Well, it was nice knowing all of you, and I look at it.
All right.
I'm afraid.
All of you who look at it, Constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my crits.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Okay. I think you're both down your crits. Constitution saving.
Is this a fear-based?
It's not a fear-based effect.
Oh, I want it to be though.
No, I'm describing it as such, but it's not actually a fear-based mechanically. My apologies that you cannot actually cheat. You cannot use the system that way.
I will use my crit as well.
Can I do the help action thing? Can I?
Not on this one, unfortunately. Okay. This is a very personalized sort of effect. But
that is the last of my crits, but I will use mine.
Okay, so Kylie, Alexander, and Irving, you make it through. Mir?
I rolled a 16.
Oh, that was your 16. And wait, actually, I haven't seen Mir's, Irving's.
I used my crit.
Oh, right. You use your crit. Okay, you all pass. I'm going to say from what everyone has, your crits are gone for pretty much everyone except for Dan, because he received another one, because you all have been burning through crits just to make it through these.
I've been keeping track.
You keep track?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, yeah, we'll say that. I trust all of you to keep track of it, because I'm trying, but people have been donating a storm. I am not bitter about that part at all. Thank you so much that you've all donated so much. I've lost track of how much good stuff our players have gained from this. But yeah, all of you go through that experience, and it's very unnerving, but immediately after you go through it, there's a sense of peace and calm that is restored to all of you, and the creature just sort of walks back to the spot it had near the gravestone, sinks back into the earth, and the archway begins to open, but before that happens, another pair of projected images appear. This one of the fire ganassi and of the orc master, and they impart to you the following wisdom. Like the seedlings which flourish all across Agni, wizarding prowess requires time, tenderness, and above all, protection. Tend to the potential you have within you, never forgetting that where you once began can become something far beyond your imagination. And when your time for studying in life ends, know that you rejoin the cycle of knowledge and life that we are all a part of. When death finally arrives, greet it as simply another journey, a new road stop along the path of knowledge that others will have when they hear of your legacy and discoveries. Congratulations for making it through this room, and may Ignis be with you. That being the case, you can move forward into the last room. Senses overtaken by nothing at this point. It is a contrast to what has happened previous occasions. You arrive in a room similar to the room in which the fire-breathing dragon was on. A lot of barren space where a clear path is not noticed. So the reds that you can see all across this room, those are like clear pathways that you can make to get across. Anything that is not the red is just open space. There is occasionally a breeze and gust of wind that crosses this area. But as far as any of you can tell, it just looks like it's a relatively open, bare room with the empty space in the center where the bridges are not already present. And once again, the back archway, 2 pair of elemental plate armored guardians. These ones seem to be formed of air and storm magic themselves.
I look up.
As you look up, you do not notice in time that there is actually a set of arcane runes right beneath your feet that it hits everyone. I need a wisdom saving throw from everyone.
I'll use my advantage.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Those are some boss rolls.
Ooh.
Did I have an advantage that I can use?
I'm pretty certain you had an advantage, so I'll say you all pass. And interestingly enough, right around, I'm going to try my best to note it on the map, but right around a lot of these passages, you'll notice that the wind is oddly being disturbed in several locations along these bridges. Here, 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 and here. I'm going to reveal to you what is in those locations, because for the purposes of sort of time and also just what you discover from not being affected by what it feels like a strong enchantment upon your minds, the wind that's coasting through this area coalesces in shapes all across this room.
Gross.
But who has highest perception here? Highest passive perception anyone here has?
I'm alert. Does that help?
Yeah, that helps. But what is your total for passive perception? So was perception added with plus 5?
No, I'm 10.
I have
10.
14.
How much?
14.
14? Alexander?
10.
10.
Apparently.
My passive is 16.
16. Okay. And Mir?
10.
Irving, you notice, you more than anyone else, you notice that these physical shapes seem to be pointing in certain directions, almost like they're like pressed in the way that their forms have come together, almost like they're looking like they're going to shove something near them.
I know what I do. I use my action to cast Misty Step to teleport 30 feet onto the path. I then use my bonus action to cast. Action to use Benign Transportation, and then bonus action to cast Misty Step.
Okay.
To just get across.
Where just for the sake of my benefit, where did you teleport first? Like, where did you land first when you chose a point?
Let me drop off my dude bro real quick.
Okay.
go. So right here for my first one.
All right.
And then
And then you move your token across for the other 30.
Yep, and then
Yeah.
another 30 just boop.
Yeah. So you're using Misty Step, you get across, and you see the plate armored elemental guardian just sort of look at you, and if a wispy air elemental could make a frown and sort of do one of these, like
I give it a thumbs up.
the air elemental rolls the thighs. But it doesn't seem hostile towards you, so it seems as though that was an adequate solution to the problem.
I wave at everyone else on the other side.
So yeah, what are the rest of you doing? Because as far as you can tell, these things seem set to push in certain locations.
And we can tell which direction?
Yes. For this one right here, this one is just going to push the block directly north of it. This one will push the block directly west of it.
Do these count as attacks of opportunity? There's reasons I'm asking.
No, they do
Okay,
not.
thank
Because
you.
you are
good.
well aware, unless you are actively choosing to leave their combat range, is how I'll rule it.
Okay.
But yeah, what do you do?
I'm going to go along the right path because there's only one of them is like gonna push the right path, right?
As far as you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk like to before that point, and then I'm gonna Misty Step to past the push point.
Yep, that's
okay. Just for my benefit, where do you walk up to on the path before you do Misty Step? So remember, go to journal, drag your name across to put your token, and that should put a token on the map, and then just tell me where you're putting your token for the first one before you do Misty Step.
Where did I go? What?
So are you standing right here?
Yes.
This square that I pinged?
Yes.
As you go to step on it.
Yeah. Wait, no, I'm gonna go to like here, and then. Yeah.
If you're still going north when you do that, I'll say you're able to get across with Misty Step.
Okay.
So Astraeus, you've made it.
Who doesn't have Misty Step?
Kylie, I'm doing the exact
I got
same
you,
thing.
Kylie.
I'm just gonna move over.
I got you,
So,
Kylie.
so everyone who's willing to burn their Misty Steps in order to basically half cheat, half successfully solve it.
Yeah.
You can make it across.
I'm gonna grab Kylie and dimension door to the other side.
The air elemental guardians both turn to look at you, Mir, like with very aggressive action, and then they just sort of like shrug and they're like, and they just go back to their posts. But you all make it across, and you successfully manage to reach the archway.
Oh, thank you. Goodness.
I'm gonna wave back behind me. Bye, cousin. Nice to see you.
When you see a pair of the out of character, these are invisible stalkers. They just go and they appear, and you see a pair of them just wave back at you, and then they just fist bump. And then like one of them's like, the one on the right just finger guns in your direction. It's like, I know you, I see you. But as that happens, a projected image once again appears in front of you with the following statement to be made by the Duragar Dwarf Enchantment Specialist and the Goliath, what you must assume, Conjuration Specialist. The following statement. Trickery and summoning are staples of a wizard's toolbox, and ones to never be underestimated. From the simplest of fey called to your side to the grandest of lies made real, magic can create just the right amount of chaos and allies in dire moments. But never forget these allies are not yours to hold dominion over, for magic does not grant anyone that supremacy. Be mindful of what you take for granted in your senses. your knowledge, and most of all, in those you may call to your aid. Congratulations for making it through the final room, and may Ignis be with you. Archway pulls back, but it's less that intense, and it's more like a very nice little happy breeze goes on, and the final archway is open to you all.
We'll go through it.
So do we get like honorary degrees for going through their dissertation rooms?
I feel like we should.
I feel like we've been white papered.
Yeah.
Wait, no, don't do that. Roll 20. Stop being fussy.
White papered with mood.
No.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Where?
That's the wrong map.
There we go. Yep. I would like everyone to place themselves on the southern portion of this map as you see in front of you a variety of things. As you see looking out in this room, a variety of different things. This final room. No flash of light, no enchantment sigils. You just see a vast, almost kind of straight up cavernous sort of space with variety of various scrolls, papers, inks, bookcases full of various tomes discussing what look like histories of dissertation papers, of discussions of magic and such. Like basically, if you've ever been in an academic department where like the undergraduate or graduate level have just set aside that bookcase where like 2019, here's all the people who did a dissertation. This is rows upon rows of all of these. And, but that's not perhaps the thing that stands out to you. There are two things that stand out more to you. One, you see some small distance away. She's not going to be on the map because out of character. I'm not having you do an escort mission element in this fight because I'm not evil that much. But you see a young orc girl, long brown braided hair going down her back, unconscious but alive in the corner of the room, just passed out over there in wearing a set of robes, red, orange, and yellow, and the phoenix symbol on the back. And in the center of the room, you see roughly 10, maybe 12 feet tall, this massive stone construct of a golem, just various arcane runes and symbols, 8 of them standing out as being oddly similar to the various runes and such that you've seen inscribed on the professor's backs. And right dead in the center of it is this massive sphere, red, orange, yellow, and crystalline, emanating a warmth, a very visible magical energy that just, it's lodged right in the center of this thing, sort of, for lack of a better term, it's matrix.
Is that the thing we're supposed to get?
Yep.
Like it. Yes.
All right.
I can I tell, is that real or is that an illusion? How do I?
I'm going to say, without even a check, it's real.
It's real.
It's real. And what is also real is you hear another voice call out from you. You have no idea where, but you hear another voice call out. Who are you? Who are any of you who have entered my room while the greatness and my genius is at work? Who are you? What business do you have here? What?
Show yourself.
If you're...
I have no reason to speak to lower people than myself. No one can appreciate my work.
Oh boy.
Already have.
To study from a master.
And if you are so...
they're buffoons. They know nothing. No one will interrupt the work of Jeremy Constance Rowling.
You're the genius that
You admit that name?
From.
I admit it because you will not know. You will not know life beyond this day.
But we want to learn from you. Rolling deception.
He doesn't believe you.
Damn. I thought 22 was pretty good.
It's 25.
Damn.
He's a straight up. This is like, and bear in mind, you don't see this person, but they have like the most like conniving, squeaky, like whiny, weaselly kind of voice you can imagine. However, you don't have to imagine one other thing that happens as a very quick question. Is everyone on the board? Oh, yes, good. And you're all clumped up in an appropriate space.
You're all perfectly placed for this fireball.
Yes, actually, because you all see just emerging out of nowhere, an individual just pops into existence right as. No, you don't see it. You can't counterspell what you can't see.
I'm going to counterspell everything.
A bead of red and orange energy just emerges from the tip of his finger right as he appears, and he flings it in your direction. I need a dexterity saving throw from everybody.
Glad I got that reroll left.
I'm going to say for the two of you who have advantage, two of you who have alert, you have advantage because you are never surprised by this. Everyone else, you don't have disadvantage, but you have advantage on the roll.
Should I crit or should I not?
Let's just take a 20.
I mean, Kylie, you don't need to worry about this one. All right, so let's see. What was his save? Okay. Anyone who who failed to get a 14 or higher, so that's going to be Astraeus, Alexander, Irving, you pass. So yeah, so Astraeus and Alexander, you are going to take, let's see, 86, 28 points of fire damage.
I'm going to use absorb elements. It's a
Half.
reaction. So,
Yep, so you're going to take 14 points of fire damage. Everyone else is just taking a base of 14 points of fire damage. And you see this very, best way we can put this is, here we go. Let me pull up his very terrible description I came up with him. A really scruffy, brown-eyed, pale-skinned individual with just terrible stubble. He has a coat of long blood red and black colors, and he just looks like the most paranoid individual you've ever seen in your lives. But the last thing you hear before I'm going to need initiative rolls from everybody is him call out, "Indomitus, crush them." And the stone construct begins to crushes its fist together, and it activates. So I'm gonna need. Yep. It was 28 base damage, 14 if you saved, or if you had any sort of resistance.
I'm at 2 HP, y'all.
Squishy wizards for the win.
That's the first damage I've taken.
I mean, y'all have avoided a lot of the actual traps that would cause you damage because y'all took your time to investigate with the appropriate amount of paranoia.
Ooh, someone gave me something.
Yes, we've had a couple of donations come in that I am losing track of in the chat. No, wait, what? No, I'm not giving you 2 initiative rolls. Construct, that would be mean. I mean, I'm not above doing it, but that would be mean.
Yeah, we have a $50 donation from Anonymous, a $15 donation from Wild Engineer, a $15 donation from Ebenezer Arvigenius, $20 from Anonymous, and another 50 from Anonymous. Did we hit our matching, or are we still?
That is a good point, yeah. Someone is noting in the chat, please redistribute the heroes as you see fit to save the world. Wonderful. Wild, you've received, I believe it's advantage from Wild Engineer.
We're $4 away, and I pledge the second amount. So if you get $4 in the next 10 minutes, it will get the full amount.
Another, wow, 64 from Dragon Gem. Holy Christ.
Oh, there we go.
A lot in.
There it is.
There we go, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for saving this pack of mostly squishy spellcasters from my giant stone golem.
Many loves.
Many loves.
I have like
but
40 hit points left.
that's what I said, mostly squishy spellcasters. Except for the Eldritch Knight and the Arcane Archer. But yeah, with that being said, Astraeus, you are alert. You have the first go on initiative. What are you doing? Who are you targeting?
On the one hand, I really want to just attack this like guy, but I know that the rest of these wizards are squishy, so I feel like maybe I should just actually take one for the team and attack this construct. So I am going to use my bonus action to re-equip to my rapier instead of my whip. I will move up next to this construct, and I am going to attack it. And because I absorbed that fire, I will have extra damage if I hit.
Okay.
So yeah, first attack. 14.
Not gonna hit, unfortunately.
Second attack. 24.
That is going to hit. You're just double checking. Your rapier is not magical, correct?
It is not.
Okay. Roll the damage. Click for the damage, and we'll see what happens with it.
First time you hit. Okay, so it will have an extra d6 as well of fire damage.
Okay.
So 14 piercing damage plus 4 fire damage.
7 piercing damage, because you notice your non-magical rapier doesn't seem to be doing as much damage as you expect it to.
Yeah.
This creature appears to be, quote-unquote, out of character, resistant to non-magical weapons. So yeah. That'd be it for your turn, Astreas?
Yep, that's it for me.
Okay. Next up, we're going to have the constructs go, as you ran up right to it, so it's going to take its attacks on you. Alrighty, so that's going to be, first one is 15 to try and hit you, second one is an 18 to hit you.
On the second one, I'm
reaction, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the first one doesn't hit me. I have 17 AC. The other one, I'm going to use Defensive Duelist since I'm wielding a finesse weapon. I can add my proficiency bonus to my AC for that attack.
Alrighty. So with that, I imagine this is the most impressive to our swishy spellcasters. You just see this Aragonasi Eldritch Knight like just battering away both of these massive stone fists, and one is about to connect. And she just manages to like hold up the rapier and like almost catch it for a second, almost get pushed back. But it's like, got it. And also, so I'm going to say that's probably the end of your turn, Astreas, since you probably don't want to leave. Well, it doesn't want to move. Well, actually, yeah, I actually am going to make it move. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, it's going to stay in your attack range, but it's just going to move to the other side to start moving towards the spellcasters. But before I continue on with the next person's turn, I have to note, because we've just been told, y'all who have been donating and have contributed, we are at $4,190 right now. We are, holy shit, everyone. That is amazing. We have raised so much. We have raised so much in just this session. Thank you, everyone. Like, means the world to the communities you're going to be helping out through this, and just wow. Let's keep this train going. Irving, you're up.
All right. I have a couple of ideas, but I think what I want to do is I believe I want to cast. I can see a home dude, right?
You can see the like slimy
the
enchanter fellow.
Yeah, silly guy. I am going to cast Magic Missile at 4th level at him.
Okay. Roll up that damage.
That should be. That's how many of that? That's 3 plus 4, 5, 6, 6 total, right?
Yep. So
I've rolled 1.
Roll 5d4 to do the other damage, and then we'll attack on another 6 to whatever your total damage roll of that is. Yeah, so that's 23 points of damage total. Yeah. He's looking kind of hurt from that, but
bonus
he's still standing.
Action. I don't have any. I can't cast another spell with the same turn, so I'm going to Take my happy ass and go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And flip off the elemental as I go.
Yes, this massive stone construct also like turns its attention to you as well. Alrighty. Will that do it for your turn?
Yeah.
Da.
Yeah.
Da. Mir, Naren, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna cast. Okay, before I do this, will Shatter break the magical shard inside of the elemental? Would I know that? Well, who gives a shit? I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna cast Shatter right here, so it hits both him and the elemental.
Okay. He saves. So it'll be half damage for him. And the massive stone construct has beefy con as far as I can remember.
But it is made out of stone, so it has disadvantage on the saving throw.
It would,
Oh.
if it wasn't magically resistant. As you notice, its whole body seems to be repelling the magic as well.
Sure.
Magically resistant.
Am I able to notice this resistance as my colleagues are doing things?
It's very visibly clear that this creature is resistant to magic. So it rolls a 20 total on its second one. So they're both only going to take 7 points of damage. All right, Mir, are you planning to move?
Yeah. I'm gonna move. Who's next? Who is this? Is this who's in front of me?
That would be Alexander.
Alexander, I'm gonna give you a bardic inspiration, and then I'm gonna bounce over here. There.
Okay. And with that, we're going to get to the enchanter's turn. He go all the way to this back corner, and then it's just going to disappear.
LOL. So would I have seen that?
You would have seen it.
Can I counterspell that?
Sure.
Okay.
What level?
So it's a 4th level. Oh, let's do let's do a 3rd level.
Counterspell back.
Shit. Okay.
If you're a mage in any campaign, never avoid taking counterspell. You will always need counterspell no matter what.
Wait, did you say he counterspelled the counterspell?
Yes.
I counterspell his counterspell.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, he's still in the back corner. He's still he's still fucking off all the way to this back area because he don't want to get hit by any of you.
But he's not invisible.
Nope, he's not invisible.
Perfect.
Indomitus, kill the mage. Well, mages.
Yes, the one.
My turn?
Yes.
All right. Let's check the range on something. 90 feet. Okay, cool.
Oh, God.
All right, okay.
All right.
So I'm going to cast Ivard's Black Tentacles right on top of Jeremy, because fuck him. So that's going to be a 20-foot radius. I'm actually going to center it like about here so that it hits.
He rolls a crit to save from it.
Dang. Well, it still hits the golem as well.
I'm going to use my crit, one of my crits, so that it saves as well.
Oh. Okay. Well, it's still in the area, so maybe I get lucky and they'll fail on their turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, here, 6. So I move there after I cast it, and that whole area is just covered in black gooey tentacles.
Okay.
And at the start of, and when someone starts their turn or enters the area for the first time, they have to roll a save, and it will be counted as difficult terrain no matter what.
Okay.
So, yep.
Alrighty. With that being the case, Kylie, it's your turn.
All right, very well. So I get 2 attacks, and I'm going to be firing arrows, and I'm going to see that each of them are infused with magic per my Arcane Archer class ability, Magic Arrow.
Okay.
And I would like to spend a luck point on my first attack roll. And I'm going to go ahead and roll that d20 now. Oh, yeah. And I would like to go ahead then and make my attack roll with the first attack. And I'm going to do the feat sharpshooter, the -5 to hit.
Okay.
All right, so if I use that, that would be 17. I will take the actual attack roll as a 17. And it would be, if it hits, it would be 16 damage, 6 plus the 10 from the feat.
That's gonna hit. So who are you hitting?
I'm aiming at the construct. I apologize. I should
Okay.
have stated that. Sorry.
So that's 16 towards the construct.
Yeah. Yep. And then the second attack, I will just do an outright straight attack, no luck roll, no feat.
No sharpshooter. All right.
I don't want to take a chance and miss. And it's a 14, which I probably just missed.
That is not going to hit it,
Okay.
unfortunately.
All right.
Tough armor repels the second arrow.
Very good. I believe that is what I have to do. Yep. I will sit right where I am.
Okay. Strauss, it is your turn. What are you going to do?
I am going to attempt to split my focus and Ray of Frost at Jeremy.
Okay.
That's 23 to hit.
Yeah, even with shield, he can't block that.
4 cold damage.
The most impressive of damage.
Yeah. So that's fine. But then because I am an Eldritch Knight, I have War Magic, so I'm also gonna try to stab the Golem.
Stabby stab away.
25.
That is gonna hit the Golem.
4, 7, so not that many.
Nope. Yeah, and this thing is quite beefy from what all of you can tell. It doesn't look, it's taken a serious amount of damage, but it's not looking particularly hurt at this point.
Yeah,
all right,
that's
bonus action and action. You gonna move?
No, I'm gonna stay right here.
Okay. Alrighty, it is now the Golem's turn. Which means it has to make a save against it. It fails, but so it's going to take 13 points of bludgeoning damage. Oh no, wait, actually it has advantage on magic. It saves against yours. Oh no, wait, actually no, it fails. So that's another 13 points of damage. But it is simply going to just walk right out of the terrain.
Did it roll the save and pass? this turn?
Oh no, it did not. You're right. So it's restrained.
So do I get to roll damage as well?
Oh, I was just taking the previous roll of 13. That works.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Okay. Because you've left it in view, right in range of Astraeus, because it's restrained and it has to take its attacks there, it's just going to beat the ever-living hell out of Astraeus. Sorry.
It can try.
I mean, I think with a 29, it can.
Well, it has disadvantage on attack rolls.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Oh, no, wait, you're right. So the previous one actually would have only been a 15. So I'm going to use my crit to make that a hit. And the other one, even with disadvantage, is a 25.
Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
This is fine. This is fine.
Fine.
So doubled, so that's going to be 68 plus 6, plus another 6, plus another 3d8. So it's going to be 98 plus 12. So that is going to be pretty rough. Okay, 4, 5, 9, 4, so that's 36, so that's 40. You're going to take 52 points of bludgeoning damage from its 2 hits and its crit.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm down. You know, it's cool.
Like you're down?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had 40
Oh,
hit
also, wait. Astraeus, weren't you also, you're technically in Avar's Black Tentacle range as well.
No.
No, I actually marked it.
Out.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I thought the boundary was one more. Never mind. Ignore that.
No, I carefully measured it.
Okay. But yeah, even through the disadvantage and everything, you all just see as this massive stone golem just punches Astraeus down. Astraeus is knocked out. That's it with its turn. I think that's enough for one turn. Irving.
Fantastic. Excellent. I will use a 4th level slot to cast Melf's Minute Meteors. And I have a crit. Can I force a crit fail on my target by using that?
You know what? Sure.
So Jeremy, spoken class. Jeremy is crit failing this. At 4th level, it's hang on.
It'll be a lot of damage.
It takes 2d6 fire damage on a failed save, so it automatically failed. And then
I think you got an advantage from Wild Engineer, if I can recall.
Okay.
That's going to so basically I create 6 total meteors that float around me, and I send 2 of them streaking at Jeremy, which do 2d6 fire damage each.
Okay, so 2d6.
Let me find my thing. There you are. 2d6. 6.
Okay. 6 points of damage.
Yeah, and that's that. And then Mage Hand. Mage Hand is an action, right?
I believe so.
It is. Okay. I'm gonna hunker down right where I'm gonna back up just a little bit more. There we go.
Squishy mage.
The squishiest of mages.
Squishy bros.
Yeah.
Squishy bros. All right, so that is for your turn, Irving?
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Mary, your turn.
I'm within 60 feet, and I'm going to cast... I just want to see what I can do. I want to try something. I want to try to cast Dispel Magic on the golem.
Okay.
I don't know what that does.
Mir, I'd like you to roll me a perception check. That's enough. You notice that while you dispel magic, you attempt to use the force of it in order to like break the enchantment that seems to be taking hold of it to cause it to stop. It doesn't take effect. However, you do notice the 8 symbols across its body, whereas previously all of them weren't lit. It seems throughout the course of this battle with I believe someone hit it with something evocation based earlier, and you've hit it with an abjuration based spell. 2 of the symbols are lit.
Oh.
And Ivard's Black Tentacles, what school of magic is that?
Conjuration.
Conjuration. The conjuration glyph is also lit.
So we have left the necromancy glyph.
You have the other 5 schools
Okay.
of magic left. That's what I'll tell you because you looked and because you did that. I think this is a proper point for you to notice because I don't think in the middle of combat people would be noticing, but since you're actively trying to like, please stop working on it, you have to take a moment to notice that the symbols are now being lit, 3 of them.
We need to hit it with the schools of magic. Just gonna yell that out to everybody.
Okay.
All right, sorry, real quick. Which ones have we hit it with already?
You have hit it with abjuration, conjuration, and evocation. The ones that remain are necromancy, divination, transmutation, enchantment, and illusion. So basically the other 5 schools of magic still need to hit it.
Did anyone take hold monster?
Negative.
I can hit it with necromancy.
Limited to 2 schools, and they've already been covered, so...
Also, you're technically dying.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like...
Like, whatever.
It's temporary.
It's whatever, it's fine.
Well, we don't have any health potions, and
Yeah,
I
I
got
don't-
no healing magic.
I did not take healing magic either.
Not an option for wizards.
No.
Phenomenal
I just
cosmic
need to
powers.
use one of my crits, then I'll heal 1, then I can second wind. It'll be fine.
Yeah, if you're not killed before then.
Mage armor still works while I'm unconscious.
Yeah. All right, so Mir, are you doing anything with your bonus action?
No. No, I'm not close enough to anybody.
Okay. Jeremy succeeds against Ivard's Black Tentacles. He's still going to take, you can feel free to roll against to see how much damage he takes, because he is looking incredibly rough because he is also a squishy wizard.
Yeah, you said go ahead and roll damage on it?
Yeah, roll damage on it because he's still, I think, technically caught in the area of effect. But he's just going to take half damage and not be restrained. So yeah, he takes 3 points of damage. He's very hurt. But you see him suddenly appear 30 feet away from where he was originally. As in a step of strange mist-like apparitions, he
no.
appears.
I say no, I counterspell again.
Counterspell again.
Do I? Do I do it?
Do it!
Do it!
Yeah. Fuck it.
Eat.
Okay.
Yeah, done.
He's stuck in the area still, but he takes 1 more shot with a firebolt to hit Astreus.
Oh.
And even at disadvantage, he rolls a 17 exactly. That's 1 death saving throw. Failed for Astreus. You all just see him, like, his terribly whiny, weaselly voice just fire out a bolt, and it just burns through some of her body. Just bleeding out.
What a dick.
That's it for his turn, though.
Is the mage visible through all these tentacles?
He's visible. Or actually...
I mean, is there line of sight, line of fire, all of that?
Yeah, the Vard's Black Tentacles isn't it's not like Hadar's Hunger where it's just blackness. It's just a ton of tentacles like coming from the ground and grabbing and crushing.
Oh, I see. So he's
it's difficult terrain, but not
restrained from the ground.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, hittable target.
Okay. So, Alexander, it is your turn.
Well, fuck this guy. I'm going to cast Magic Missile at 4th level.
Yep. That is going to do it. Also, before I get into that, $10 from Bellwether, taking us
Nice.
to $4,200 raised total.
That's amazing.
So you don't even need to bother to roll for this because, Alexander, how do you want to finish off Jeremy Constance Rowling, otherwise known as J.K. Rowling?
I assumed. That's a good push.
I'm just gonna have this just ton of missiles just fly at him and just pierce through his body, kind of splattering blood over some scrolls and pushing his corpse onto the wall.
Yeah, you see in a flash of arcane missile barrage and tentacles, Jeremy Constance Rowling is defeated.
And I guess that's my turn because I don't have any useful bonus actions at the moment because there's no way I'm going to be able to drag a corpse with 5 strength.
All right. Kylie, it's your turn.
So going to knock 2 arrows for my attacks. And I would like to roll another luck die. Nice. That is sweet as hell. I'm going to use the arrow of enfeeblement for the necrotic damage, hopefully, if I hit with my longbow strike. And I will also imbue the arrow with magic.
Okay. That does not hit.
And that counts as a use, right?
Yep.
You have
All right.
advantage.
Because it's restrained, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, we'll roll that second die. Please be good.
Nope.
Well, son of a... Okay, take my second attack. Man. Big 0 from Kylie.
Still have advantage.
Jesus. Tell me one more time.
That is going to hit. After it misses.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. That'd be terrible if I told you. It hits
Yeah.
in the future. Not now.
So 7 damage.
Okay, that's 7 damage.
Magical.
Magical. It goes all the way through.
Let's see here. I've got movement and a bonus action. Let's see. I'm going to place myself. I'm going to move in between. So that I can get over there and drag her out of there.
Okay.
Tiny little meat shield.
The tiniest of meat shields.
Little smoky shield.
Yeah. And that will end my turn.
All right, Astreas. Need to roll for death save, but do you still have a crit saved? I think you burned through. Yeah, you burned through all of your crits.
I was hoping somebody would. No, I guess
Roll d20.
Just gonna roll it.
That's a failure. That's 2 fails. It begins the stone golem's turn. It's still Navard's black tentacles. I will use my only remaining crit to automatically save. It is no longer restrained. It is moving past, and it has just enough movement to get to both of the wizards.
Goodbye.
It did take half of 16 for failing. So 8.
Alrighty. It's taking the 8 damage. It's looking quite damaged at this point, but it's not like anywhere near ready to fall.
Okay.
But I will say, right before it punches both of you, I want Irving and Alexander to both roll me a perception check.
Perception. I'm so good at that.
That's enough. You both notice while the 8 symbols, while 3 of them have been lit up from the magic, you notice that these symbols have been done in pairs. Like there is an actual set of arcane like scripture and text that is connecting them into pairs. And the pairings seem to be based similar, because you rolled so high, you are able to notice right before this giant stone fist is about to punch into both of you, they're paired as follows: necromancy with abjuration, divination with transmutation, and conjuration with enchantment, and evocation with illusion. The only pair that does not have any sort of symbol lit up is a divination and transmutation pair. You both are able to notice this before the golem goes to punch you. So that's a 28 to hit you, Irving.
Oof.
And a 12 to hit you, Alexander.
It misses.
12 to hit me, misses.
No, as in the 28 was to you, Irving. The 12 was to
28.
Alexander.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That hits. I am squishy.
No,
I am but squish. Yeah, I'm pretty certain 19 points of bludgeoning damage is going to take you out.
No.
Oh, it doesn't.
No.
Oh.
Would have taken me out.
I rolled really good when I rolled this character up, when I rolled my stats.
Alrighty, then you're still up.
50 hit point max.
And but you both are able to notice that effect with the magic. But it's just going to stay there, and it's still looking really angry. It's not looking like it has any intent on stopping anytime soon. Sweet. But Irving, it is your turn.
That's what I like. All right, so for my first trick, I'm going to take 2 of my meteors and just for 2d6 damage against it.
Is it just hits, or does that need save?
It's a dexterity saving throw.
Rolls an 18 naturally.
That passes. So half damage. 2d6.
Magic resistance is rough against a team of spellcasters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for my action, because that was a bonus action, for my action, I'm going to prestidigitation the thing for.
What school of magic is that?
That is transmutation.
Okay.
That's why I chose it.
So here's what happens. Irving, as you shoot the meteor, the stone golem just seems relatively unfazed. It doesn't matter what damage you had for it, because more importantly, it seems ready to just wind up for another set of 2 punches. But as you cast prestidigitation, and feel free, embellish it as you see fit. What do you cast with your mighty prestidigitation? Because it'll be important.
It'll be important. Oh, it's a stone golem. I assume there's dust all over, like just crumbling rocks and stuff, just all over or around the thing we're trying to get to. I just want to like just take all of that and just make that all clean and just nice. And
as you do that, you just start hearing a series of whirring and like flashes of light occur across the symbols. And the stone golem, which we'll say for flavor is its fist is about 2 inches away from your face, it just stops. The construct is shut down. In the split second right before it hits you, I'm going to say just for flavor, you and Alexander are able to recall that this is an old make of a construct, that some of the original designs for these had fail-safes in the event that they ever malfunctioned to shut them down. It seems as though this one was based off of the flavoring of the school. And as such, the construct is stopped. And out of its center matrix, the Ignis shard just falls out.
I catch it.
Are we still in combat, or can I do something?
You can try and do something right as Astraeus rolls a death saving throw.
I was going to run and try to do Mantle of Inspiration.
Roll me a dexterity check, Mir, which I believe you still have an advantage.
I do. I'm going to actually have a crit. I'm just going to use
you have a crit?
Yeah.
Okay, then whatever you're going to do, if you do the Mantle of Inspiration, we'll just say that's enough. Astraeus is barely holding on to life, like barely. But you see, stumbling from the corner where she was previously, the orc girl just shambles over, and you see she pulls out a symbol, a holy symbol, of a set of scales with a skeletal hand holding them. And she utters a few words in Orcish. And for anyone who's, I don't know if anyone speaks Orc in the party.
I do.
Nope.
You hear her, most people tend to stereotype and think of Orcish as a very brutal, intense, and like harsh language, and but this is simply not the case. And when you hear it, she speaks it almost like beautifully, and she says, Lord of the Dead, please protect this soul and spare her life. And she casts Spare the Dying on Astraeus. Astraeus, you don't have to make any death saving throws. And she is about to like pass out again, but she would just, I'm going to say, mechanically, with her bonus action, she also just tries to use the last bit of her energy before she passes out and casts Healing Word. Astraeus, you're up.
I'm going to grab her as she passes out.
Yeah.
Beatrice, right?
Beatrice.
Okay. I'm going to grab her as she passes out.
But yeah.
I'm gonna like gasp and I'm gonna look at Mirror and be like, you don't know Cure Wounds?
I make pretty things. Why would I?
But sort of as a note, because I think our producer can let us know, I think we're nearing like 10, 15 minutes-ish, or we're nearing like the end of it. You all...
Oh, sorry. Continue.
We have about 10 minutes left, so sort of to give the bit of closure here for what's going on and give time for like send-offs and everything. You all are able to take time, whatever you need, a short rest or what have you, to recover in here, heal up a little bit, and out away from all of these scary eldritch tentacles and such, you are able to recover a journal from Rowling's body. You do see a very angry, belligerent, and quite paranoid set of accounts given by an individual who seemed quite prejudiced towards a variety of different individuals, and he seemed in some ways almost hell-bent on potentially seeing if he could practice an element of necromancy with a girl he might have thought as disposable.
Nice.
You get the sense that he was a terrible, scummy, terrible, horrible individual, likely held a lot of bigoted beliefs. And he probably saw Beatrice as a very open target.
What a jerk.
Kick him.
Yeah. The corpse rises to attack you. No, I'm just well, that wouldn't be bad.
That perfect
I'll
circumstance
fight him
causes
again.
him to
Whatever.
rise.
Yeah, I'm going to say, out of character, you also get very turfy vibes from a lot of the accounts as well. Rowling's whole thing is just, it's despicable, but you're able to, Beatrice, despite passing out from just lack of strength, she is relatively okay. And you are able to head back through the rooms without any issue. No, there's no defenses, no wards or anything. It seems as though once you pass and go through the whole process, all of the defenses are set down, and you can decide at this moment what you'd like to do with the shard, because any of you who picks it up, you can feel free to decide.
I caught it when it fell out, so I'm holding it.
Yeah, you glimpse for just a moment, is sort of one of the last sort of closing notes. You receive a vision, and you're a divination specialist, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you see a leap into the future or the past. It's hard to tell. Normally the portents you receive are something, just little bits into the fabric of time, but it's almost like for a moment you see the vast web of fate itself stretch out before you. But the threads are not spider webs, but feathers, and they all connect eventually to this grand flaming bird that is Phoenix, that for many decades has said to have died and no longer been able to be reborn. And you see an image of this bird flying through the sky, showering upon the whole of Agni warmth of life, beauty, safety. That is the last vision you receive. stays with you throughout this whole journey back, and the professors wait, many of them with a sense of worry and concern, and especially Ovak, the orc abjuration specialist, like tends to Beatrice as best he can. But you get a sense from most of the professors, and even begrudgingly from the two who seemed quite cruel, that they are grateful to all of you. And as such, as a last note, whatever reward you would like that they can offer to you is paid to you in full. The promise was not false. Should you have required money, access to the libraries, and potentially a residency past this point, you have it available to you. Adventurers?
That was fun.
Congratulations.
That was good.
Really good.
Well done. Well done. Wonderful adventure.
Irving returned the crystal. He gave it to the divination specialist and not Moira.
Oh no! What I was gonna do actually was gonna hold it out for Moira, and as soon as she reached it, just dropped it to the ground.
Well done. But yeah, thank you everyone for taking the time to run through this little fun one shot that I've been thankful for.
So fun
to get to run for different people. And yeah, this is, for anyone who's interested, this is my ode to both the fun book series I loved growing up as a kid and my disappointment that the author is a TERF. So you killed the TERF. Congratulations, everyone. You did the correct outcome.
Go us.
You did the right thing. But more importantly, let's get out to our shout outs and just for a second, reflect. We reached in this whole thing 4,204 a little while ago. We've reached so much already, and we're so close to our goal.
Yo, we have 420, 420. I'm just saying.
We have 420, 420. Let everyone delight in this reality. It is glorious. And also, I would like to shout out to Michi Swords in chat. We're taking death of the author to a very real place. So thank you to everyone for joining us for this. Everyone who donated, who made this game that much more chaotic on my end. I actually, as much as I pretend to complain about it, I love this. Thank you so much, everyone who donated. Let's get on the wrap. Go around, everyone shout out your own stuff as we begin this little send-off of the end of Foul Tidings at the first Kiln with our fantastic elected crew. Let's start with our own representative from the Maychan Press, Justin.
Hi, I'm Justin with Maychain Press. I had a wonderful time playing this, and I have one stream I do weekly over on Wandering DM's channel, but this was fun. I'm so glad that I was able to, provide something for the donation giveaways and stuff. This is awesome being in Texas. I see this kind of thing regularly where immigrants aren't treated like people sometimes, and it's unfortunate. So it was really exciting to be able to join this.
Thank you for having us on, and hello Tulsa College for joining the party right at the end. Next up, we're going to go with our fantastic wispy airy woman, Eldritch Knight extraordinaire, Audrey.
Hello, I am Audrey. I'm at Audrey Arcana on Twitter. I'm not in any regular games right now because I'm going into the busy season, but I am so happy that I was able to play on this one shot. If anybody else needs some people for one shots, feel free to hit me up. Again, I'm not available for like long form games right now, but one shots, especially if you're helping out a great cause like this one was, I am happy to jump in and play. So just let me know.
Well, we were all blessed to have you. And oh wow, Shaq's Queer just cheered with 25 and cheered a total of 120. Thank you so much. As our chat cheekily indicated, thank you for the beer money. And also, Audrey, we have, what is it? I think our producer can speak to this later. Side Shots, our Monday night's one-shot series that's going to be happening soon. Stay tuned for that. But next up, a side quest. I'm bad with names. I'm tired. I'm running off a very little sleep here. I know, I'm just giving you shit. This is what I do. So our wonderful peering into the void divination wizard, Denrand.
Hello, I am Dan Rand of the internet. God, this was so fun. This was such a great. I love D&D, and I haven't played in like a month, and this was perfect to come back to. You can find me on Twitter literally 24/7. And other than that, occasionally I stream on my own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ThanRand. And soon I'll be on, I'm a regular member since the beginning of the Friday night stream on this channel. We're going to be starting that up next month with some pirate shenanigans that
This
I'm really
month.
excited about. This month.
It's the first.
It's so close. I can't wait to be a pirate. And yeah.
Wonderful. And to our individual with the most quaint and delightful of hobbit holes, Wily Hobbit.
Hello, everybody. I'm Scott. I'm Wally Hobbit on Twitch and Twitter. I DM a game every other Wednesday over on Castle Mac from Into the Borderlands. It started off as published, and now it's gone into homebrewed chaos. Lots of fun. So every other Wednesday night at 8 Eastern. Join us. I think next we play a week from Wednesday. So this was an awesome adventure. Really enjoyed it. I'm not good at figuring out puzzles, so it was nice to have a couple wizards in the party, but I can shoot stuff and be all hobbity. But it was a lot of fun, and I really love this community, and I'm really, really proud and thankful to be a part of such an important fundraiser. So really glad I got to play today.
Well, we're thankful to have you as part of the community, and our wonderful, darling, sassy mirror / Kate.
Hi, I'm Kate. I go by me and Midair on the internet, especially Twitter, which is where I spend most of my time, and on the Discord. And I do a lot here on the channel, but the biggest one I want to push is there is no Emissaries of Avicenna tonight. It's our midnight Pacific Standard, Eastern Standard Time, All Fem and NB's game, but it will be starting again next week, and we have some changes, so come check us out. It's going to be great. And we might have a new person joining us. They might be on this stream right now. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yes, and I will note before I get into my own quick spiel thingy, we have an undisclosed party in chat has also dubbed Kate the she of the Nat One. So,
fair.
Undisclosed party, we love you and adore you in this community. So I'm Phoenix24Fem / I'm Angela. I am on Twitter as Phoenix24Fem, on Patreon as Philosophem, and oh boy, I do a lot of things. Let me see if I can read through them quick. I'm a content writer for Art for Ourselves, which is a QTPOC online publication that supports QTPOC creatives. I am one half of the Queerly Yours podcast, a both polyamorous and trans couple, where it's me and my partner talking about a lot of relationship issues, which boil down to capitalism is shitty and hurts everything, and talk to your partner. No, seriously, go talk to your partner or partners. It saves you a lot of trouble. And I am the DM here, usually on Saturday nights for Adventures in Agni, also set in this homebrew setting for an all POC crew. So we are going to be starting up 1 hour earlier next week when we get going. We will actually, some of us get to sleep somewhat better now. It's great. But I am that. I was also, if any of you are in Seattle right now, I'm going to be heading to PAX West immediately after this. Find me near the Mistwalkers crew, because I need to go find them. And I'm going to be on running Agni. I'm going to be in 2 other games starting in addition to that, and as well as running 2 homebrew campaigns. So yay, no sleep and not watching out for yourself. No, but actually
doing all the things.
Doing all the things. I love this community. I love what we've been able to do to support each other. Thank you so much to everyone. This means so much. I have parents who are both immigrants who came to this country and still now get shit. Even my dad still probably gets stuff, and he's gone through the whole several year process of being a citizen. So this means a hell of a lot to see a community just come out and support for such a big and important cause, because it's super easy at this point to just fall into either straight up nihilism or just indifference. Pro tip, both of those are useless and also very boring points to start for politics. It's easy to get into, to just stay there. It's harder to hope and do better. And it's been a blessing to be part of this community and get constantly reminded people want to do better. I love so many of the people I've met on this chat. My life is infinitely better. And I've even, as a last shout out to myself before I head out, because I know I'm over time, I just started offering composing duties to create personalized themes for TTRPG campaigns. So if you need a composer for a campaign, even if it's just cool, neat, happy homebrew one, Look me up. I charge for this, but I will make you good things because I do not give you shit. I can promise you this.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes, but
All
I
right.
believe that's everything. Thank you so much, everyone. Blessings to you all, and thank you for contributing. We love you. Thank you.
And just a reminder that we are raising money for Raíces Texas, a nonprofit organization that offers pro bono legal assistance to the immigrant and refugee communities. We are doing a giveaway starting right now for a $25 digital prize pack for Evil Hat Games. The Modern Age Core Rules PDF by Green Ronin Publishing. It's a good, cool system. Check it out. And a $20 Hero Forge gift card. So if you type, I can't remember where the thing is. I've got to find it. I know where it is. It's here somewhere. Oh, it's probably, Crits Galore into the chat. You will be entered for that giveaway. We are going to head off. Thank you so much again for joining us, and the amazing amount of donations we received this last game was just fantastic. We really appreciate it. The stream is going to shut down for a second. It's totally normal. We're just switching producers. Refresh, and it'll be no problem.
Bye.